Did
here
we
for
lose? Oh,
season
there he is.
2, episode 18, the Jumping the Rail podcast. This is Mark Revin coming to you from Champaign, Illinois, along with my buddy Minderz. We usually call you Minderz. I think it's just Hop Along Elam today
Yeah, it's hop
because
along.
we
I
joke,
broke
but
my
yeah,
foot over the weekend.
uh, dead gummit.
Never
Now,
broken a
yeah, I
bone
know
in
you'd
my
like to.
life. And
Well, welcome to the club. I know you'd love to have a cool story about how you did it, but I know it's kind of underwhelming, but
well,
it
the
is what
floor
it
needed
is.
a hug. That's all I can say. The floor needed a hug.
Okay. Well, as you can
Fair
see, the
enough.
bearded dragon, Gary Vasilio, is not with us today, so we have substituted. We got our buddy Jabari Sinclair helped us out with our JTR Mania show a couple weeks ago. So, Bari, officially welcome to the show here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, heck yeah. It seems like we usually jive pretty well on opinions, so maybe we can gang up on Minderz a little bit.
Yeah, or as Minderz says, you and I share the same brain, so
Yeah, she has said that.
Sure
So-
have.
So I guess the first thing we got to talk about is the three of us, along with the wife. We went to Indianapolis last weekend, and we had a big old time there at the Squared Circle Expo.
definitely did. It was a hell of an experience, and I can't wait till next year.
Oh yeah. Well, we already got our room, and we're ready to go. So we'll be doing that. But it was
Right on.
we had some interesting experiences there. We got to meet some of our faves. We got some. Minderz sent me some of the pictures here on your end. Plus, I got some of mine. So let's see. There's the backdrop, as we can see. That's me and my. I'm not a Bengals fan, but it was appropriate for that particular
Very
time
appropriate.
because, yeah. And for those wondering, it's because I got to meet that guy, Ryan Pillman Jr. So of course I had to wear my Pillman jersey to night one when I found out he was going to be there. So, and that's not going to be the only wrestling football jersey I get. I'm working on getting a Wahoo Dolphins jersey at some point for
There you go.
the Big Chief, Wahoo McDaniel.
Yep. So where's some more of our pictures, Mark?
Well, let's see here. Well, I dropped the cap to my bottle, but I don't need it.
We don't need
Let's
it.
see. So Barry, we have to play a little game of one-upsmanship here because here's a picture of you with Uncle Fred.
Well, Uncle
Typhoon
Fred.
Tugboat Shockmaster. And I'll tell you what, TV did not do him justice. He is a large man.
Yes, he is. All right. I'm not a small man myself, but I stood beside him and I said, "Wow, how's the weather?"
Dude, just when you shake his hand, it's like a catcher's mitt. How big his hand is.
Yeah, his hand engulfs your hand.
Mm-hmm. So that's your picture with Uncle Fred. I'm going to show you mine. For those wondering, that is the original Shockmaster helmet from 1993.
Uh-huh.
And I was terrified I was going to break it because I don't know why I was worried my head was going to be too big because look at the guy who wore it back then.
Wore it?
But
yeah. That's great.
That wasn't, yeah. And then there's a couple other things here. There's a picture of all four of us at one of the panels. I'm not sure, or was that one of the wrestling shows?
That was the show. That was Black Label.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
Black
that was the
Label.
Friday.
I remember those chairs.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the chairs are the same in every room in the hotel, so it gets a little confusing.
Yeah, but that was Friday because me and Minderz was twins.
We were twins Friday.
Right. Yep. Your Doug Basham fan club T-shirts. Should we tell the story, Barry, about how you get pissed off Doug Basham?
Yeah, sure. So, like we said, Friday evening, we were all at the Squared Circle Expo, and we were all off pretty much doing our own things. At this particular time, I was in the I guess you want to call it the superstar room where everybody had their own tables and stuff.
Mm.
And I'm in there looking around, and I seen Carlito, and I seen Mickey James, and a couple other people, and I just happened to pass by Rip Rogers' table. And he said, "Hey, young man, would you do me a favor and would you take a picture of me and a few of my fans?" So I obliged and I took a few pictures for him and they all turned out good. Shook my hand, said thank you. I said, "You're welcome, anytime." As I was getting ready to walk away, Doug Basham stops me and asks me to do the same thing, to take a picture of him and a few fans. I agreed. And before I could take the pictures, he glanced down at my shirt and he looked me square in the eye and said, "Oh."
Now, for those that didn't notice, tell the people what your shirt said on there.
My shirt said the famous Jim Cornette quote of "Thank you, fuck you, bye," which he dropped on John Laurinaitis when John Laurinaitis took Doug Basham, who was the Damager at the time, took him up to the big roster and shaved his head bald.
Nice. I have to correct you. Danny was the Damager. Doug Doug was their heavyweight champion. Had like the long hair,
right?
And as you know, as the story goes, when he went up for like a tryout or something, they said, "I wonder what he looks like bald," and shaved his head, which led to one of the more epic voicemail messages that Jim Cornette sent to the office when he came back for television. But yeah, so I'm sure Doug has heard that story ad nauseum. So if he never sees that phrase again, it's probably too soon.
Probably too soon, exactly. So yeah, I take his picture. I go to shake his hand, and he just walks away. And I'm thinking, dude, I'm thinking like, dude, if you got heat over a freaking $30 T-shirt, there's something seriously wrong with you. What you should have heat with, and who you should have heat with, is Linda Miles for whooping your ass on TV when you had a Get mask on. But we won't go there.
I think you need to send that tale to Brian Last and Jim Cornette, because that might make it onto the experience.
Yes. I'm trying to figure out the best way to word the email so it gets in. So yes, I'm definitely working on that. But yeah, man. He seen my shirt and he got butt hurt.
You got something playing in the background in your car there, Barry?
No, I actually have you all. I have my Bluetooth on and I have you over the stereo. Is it causing a disturbance?
Yeah. It's kind of it's bouncing back into the feed. So
okay, I can cut it off. No problem.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just as long as you can still hear us.
Yeah. So moving on, I got a couple other pictures. I think that's all the ones you. Oh, we got you guys with the backdrop.
Yeah.
You see with the matching "Thank You, Fuck You, Bye" T-shirts, which MJF is bringing back. Apparently, he sure made that one of his catchphrases. Your buddy from that weekend, Minderz, MJF.
Did you have that picture?
I don't have that picture.
Oh,
you didn't send me that one. There it is. Looks like an art piece, kind of the way he's sitting.
Yeah, he was actually very nice to me. Okay, so the video that went viral that weekend of him yelling at a baby, I was in the room when that happened. It was great.
I have video of that.
So, yeah, out of all the people that were in the room at the time, I was the one he was nicest to, and he told me to go away. So
Nice.
I was thrilled with it.
Yes.
He signed my T-shirt. He actually handed it back to me. He didn't throw it at me like he had done to previous people, and yeah, worked out great.
Not just any T-shirt either, Minderz.
It's right there.
That's the official Jumping the Rail I Heart Heels T-shirt.
Official.
Available at ProWrestlingTees.com. So if you get one of those and you see MJF at an outing, he might notice it. And
he might, because when I walked up to him, I said, "Good evening. Would you please sign my I Love Heels shirt?" He looked at me. He's like, "Okay, whatever. I don't get it." Signed it, handed it back to me, and he's like, "Go away." I'm like, "Oh, okay." It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No. The best picture I think I saw was a tweet that he put out of one of the photo ops where he apparently bag tagged a kid in the picture, and he was doubled over, and his dad was just beaming on the other side of him.
That probably was the best picture taken all weekend right there.
I think you might be right, but I think he captioned it like the only time I smiled the whole weekend. Because he had that smirk on his face, you know.
The other one we saw that was really good. Well, that Jamie that I met at there at the expo.
Yeah,
that I
okay,
made
yeah,
friends with.
yeah.
MJF actually picked them up and went to go throw them.
Oh,
And in the picture, you can see him throwing him.
oh wow.
It's quite interesting.
I can imagine. Yeah, I didn't spring for any of the professional photo ops. I was a little cash poor that weekend, but hopefully next year I can save up a little bit more. When you have 2 car accidents in 6 days, that kind of affects your finances before you take a road trip. So
Yeah.
you can't tell, but the cat is right here. Hello,
Going after that
Noodles.
bottle cap that you were looking for.
No, she's going after this. I've got my Ring of Honor tag team title belt on the table next to me.
Ah.
I'm working a little more on my set decorations here, so I'm not allowed to have the wall hanger here. So the compromise is put it on a table, but you only see part of it. But you know, not too bad. Then maybe I'll get the 0-1 belt for the shootout. You never know.
There you go.
I think the highlight for me out of all the people that we met, and we met a lot of legends and even some of the current guys, but my first ever favorite wrestler was there, and there he is, Tito
Yep.
Santana. I know I've sing the praises of Arn Anderson. He's my all-time favorite, but when I was 6 years old, Tito was the man for me. He was awesome.
I'm going to ask you to pull out another picture
Uh,
of Mr. Rikishi.
I gotta. Okay.
Oh,
Hang-
yeah.
Okay. I was gonna mention this tomorrow also because it
Well, we
might
will
be
tomorrow too,
understood.
because
All right. So hang on, let me find it.
we'll do the one. Do your number one of "We Are the Ones" on for here. We'll talk about the other one tomorrow.
Hang on, let me find it here.
It made me think of it when I saw the hat you were wearing in the Tito picture.
Right.
Although Victoria did try to choke me to death, so
I saw that. I'll tell you, she was having a fun time at the after party.
she was a blast.
Doing the worm and breakdancing and all types of stuff.
She was so fun. Between her and Brian Pillman and who else was in there? Lord Crew. I think Jake Omen was in there at one point.
Yeah, that's a guy I want to get on here sometime to chat with. He's awesome. I've only seen him at the expos, but every time I see him, he's damn impressive.
Yeah.
All right, so let me make sure I've got the right. Okay, so for those of you that listen to the shootout and know who the lowlifes are, their hand signal is this, right? It's making the L.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to meet Rikishi, and all the pictures he was taking, he was having everybody put the ones up, like for Bloodline. It's like, oh, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. But out of reflex, I put up the L. So it's just the thumb out of reflex does that. The lady taking the picture did not like that.
No.
She was like, how about we take one where you're not calling Rikishi a loser? It's like, oh no, that's not what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
So I had to reposition, and no, that's the same one.
That's the same picture.
Oh no, I thought I get that's the problem when they take like 80 pictures of the same at the same time. But I got one where I actually was doing that.
Yeah. Well, I got a wrestling buddy.
There we go. Who is that, Minderz?
Indie God himself.
Yep, Matt Cardona.
If the hats weren't of questionable material, if the hats weren't made of questionable material, I would have gotten one of those fedoras he had. But
they look pretty sweet.
Hats.
Yeah.
I do like me a good fedora. Okay, here's the actual picture.
There we go.
There's the properly done We the Ones hand motion. So if I know he listens, but apologies to the great Rikishi for offending him if I did. I think he was pretty chill about it, but
I think one of my highlights of the weekend too was I finally got to meet Mick Foley, so I was excited about that. Finally met Mick Foley.
Yes. The wife is telling me to show the picture of Danhausen. Those pictures are on your phone, my dear. I don't have those ones here. So if you want me to show it, you got to send it to me.
Yeah, the Danhausen pic was fun.
Yes. Then a couple other people that I got to meet when you guys weren't around. I know, Bar, you had to go take your nap at one point. No fault in that.
It was needed.
And I overslept at another point.
Yes. So there's the national treasure, Nick Aldis, who we're going to talk about a little bit here before too long because he made a little bit of news this weekend. But very cool guy. Last year he was a little grumpy last year. So and I didn't get a picture with him because I didn't have money, but that might have been why he was grumpy. I don't know. And then I say pound for pound the best singles wrestler in the world right now, right there,
Yeah.
Jay Lethal.
Definitely, without a doubt.
The guy who should have beaten Orange Cassidy at least 3 times by now for that
At least.
international championship.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on Pockets, okay? Don't get me started on Pockets.
My little dog pockets.
Oh, we got AJ started on Cardona.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
quoting Joe Hendry. That is a catchy tune, by the way, that Joe Hendry made up about Cardona.
Yeah.
Oh, she just sent it. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. I don't know why No, I don't want to do navigation.
Well, and then let's see. Then we had Black Label Pro that night. We got to see the Bang Bros again.
Yeah, the team you don't want to Google.
Do not.
Yeah,
Google
you don't
them.
want to Google them.
They were even announced like that.
Uh-huh. Also, they get announced that way at GCW because they were on GCW wrestling Jake Lander, by the way, on the show this past weekend.
Okay.
It was actually a fun match. Lander did a hell of a job.
Was. I'm sure it was.
Excuse me. All right.
Yeah.
So, by request from my spouse, who I tried to keep happy, there's the man, Danhausen, still got the wing in the sling. But,
oh, man.
Convention housing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as you can see, the wife had the idea that we bring our Danhausen spicy water coffee mugs with us for the picture. And he got a kick out of that. So
Good.
he almost got my wife's wallet out of the deal because she forgot it on his table. But,
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah.
so, but a good Samaritan found it and put it up at the front desk, and everything was in it. So thanks to whoever that was because she was about to have a heart attack. So
I really wish we could show that video that we took of you during the expo there, Mark.
So this little exposition because I do have it on here.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I got it. It's on the second day they have a costume contest there where you cosplay as your favorite wrestlers. There were some pretty good costumes from what I heard. I couldn't see shit. Road Warriors, Bianca. I think Bianca won.
Bianca was really good. Yeah, Bianca won.
Yeah.
She was really good.
She was good.
Yeah, but I decided to dust off an old favorite because the winner gets VIP passes. So I'll take a shot at it. What the hell? So the video, if you can make it out, this is Minderz took this video from the seats, so it's not the best angle, but I think you get the idea. So here we go. So
you can't really understand what was being played on the phone, but
no, it was basically a recording of the original Shockmaster promo from '93. But I had to have the wife help me because I couldn't see a damn thing in that helmet, so I had to make.
So the fall was legit, people.
No, I worked the fall. That was a work, but I didn't plan for the glitter to go in my eyes when I took the tumble because there's glitter in that helmet. And it was loose because it was just falling apart.
Yeah,
it got in my eyes.
I sat in it
not
once
pleasant.
you put your helmet down.
I'm still finding finding glitter on me, and it's been almost 2 weeks. I never felt more like a stripper pole in my life after that weekend.
Oh,
but I digress.
Great.
But
yeah, and Stacey didn't know you were going to do the fall because
yes, Stacey didn't know I was going. She worried, but I don't think she's seen the original Shockmaster though.
Ah,
oh yeah,
that makes sense.
She thought she made me trip. If she knew the story, she would have tripped me.
Exactly. I should have been there to yell. He fell flat in his ass. He fell flat in his ass.
They get you with a blonde wig, flare. If
Oh,
we had
that
a
would have
full
been
crew to
great.
be everybody, that would have been perfect. We had a Sting and a Bulldog and a Sid and a Flare. But
Oh man,
okay,
but man,
Stacy says she
those
has seen it, but she forgot.
ah, I would say the two that the under 14 group. There, I know there was only 2 kids in it, but man,
Yeah.
those 2 kids could cut a serious promo.
They can
Holy
cut a serious
crap.
promo. Exactly right. That little fella better watch out because he's too smart to have a mouth like that.
He is.
He needs a
He's too
heater.
small to have a mouth like that. But yeah, that was a lot of
Yes.
fun.
Yeah. From what
Definitely,
I heard,
guys.
the
Yeah, if you
Bianca
guys can get out and
lady was really
can
good.
save up the money for Square Circle Expo next year, I would suggest going because it is a once in a lifetime experience. And we'll be doing it again next year, but you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had Heather Owens on. She's one of the organizers the last episode, and it was awesome. And she really puts on a hell of a show. Her and her husband Ed Gonzalez, I think, are the 2 main people that run it. And when it gets closer to ticket time, I'll try to remember to put that link up on our Jumping the Rail Facebook page, so anybody that's interested can hop on there and do that. So it's definitely, it's like I say, if you go to the big wrestling shows, it's not as fun as an indie show or a convention, just because there's not the camaraderie. You don't get it's like a big hang at these conventions, not just with the wrestlers, but with the fans too, which is awesome.
Exactly.
So
it's common camaraderie, if you will.
Yes.
You get to buy fun stuff.
Oh yeah, show us what you got, Minderz.
I got my Rhea Ripley Funko Pop.
For a second, I thought that said Alex Riley.
No, why the hell?
Well, that's my issue. Like, why would you buy an Alex Riley Funko Pop?
And then I got this one.
Edge. I think I know him.
You think you know him. And then, okay, so there's a story behind this one. Okay. Ari and I were on our way over to Indianapolis, and I made the comment. I said, I'm really not in. I really don't collect Funko Pops. I don't have a whole lot of them. I have one other wrestling one, which is a Shawn Michaels one that actually I got for Christmas from Bari or AJ. I'm not sure. It was one of them.
I think it was me.
I think it was you too. But that, and I have a Deadpool one, and that's it. And I said, if I was ever going to get a Funko Pop, I think, and they've been advertising it on Facebook, I'd seen it, was the Paul Bearer and the Undertaker Funko set. I was like, okay, cool. Well, we walked into where they had like all the vendors and stuff set up. First one I saw.
Very nice.
So
Gomez Adams and Uncle Fester. I think that's what Bobby Heenan called him.
But yeah, I couldn't not.
No.
So
now, Barry, I know
a little WrestleMania. I didn't see the little sign in there.
No.
That's now.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
Which one is that? That's
WrestleMania
the Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I won't ever take it out. So.
Oh no! We don't take him out the box.
No. You will be punished on this show if you find out you took that out of the box.
Severely punished at that.
So Barry, I know we got you in the car right now, so you can't show us your big prize, but why don't you tell us what you got on the first day?
Oh, I was able to acquire the WWF Winged Eagle Championship belt that was held by Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter, those fellas from that era. I don't have it with me now because I'm at work.
Right.
And I was able to get it for a hell of a price too.
Very nice.
You can call me the Great Haggler.
No
yes. So, like Marvelous Barry Hagler, to paraphrase from Marvelous Marvin. How's the leather on that belt?
It's actually really it's a very sturdy belt. Yes, it's floppy and it's almost like it's a ring worn belt because it's old, but it's very sturdy and I'm very happy that I bought it.
Nice. That's what I was wondering.
And it weighs about 15 pounds too.
I believe it. I was wondering because the belt that I got here, the leather is very stiff on it. There's not a lot of play to it. But I have a Fandu Big Gold that I got last year that I took to the expo, I had Steamboat and Scott Steiner sign it, and that feels like a ring-worn belt. The leather is very supple on it. So I was curious how
And
that
see,
works. 'Cause I think
I
next year,
like those kind of belts that are actually floppy. The Shop Zone titles are so stiff, and I've had a Shop
yeah,
Zone US title for 3 years, and it's just as stiff as it was when I bought it the first day.
yeah.
Hey, Mark,
I think.
check your messages real quick because I sent you a picture of that belt that Bari put up on his
Oh,
Facebook.
oh, stand by. But yeah, I think next year I'm gonna have to try and get me a belt or two because I do like the I'm a belt collector like Bari is. So let's see.
Stacy, I love you.
Oh, all right, I gotta see what she said now. Oh my, she has jokes.
She has
Oh
She is
God,
funny.
Stace, grow up.
Hey, she deals with me, so it's normal.
It's all
All
good.
right, so I have a picture here. And Bari, is this two of your belts, or is this just
that's his yeah.
That's my
is that your
That's
shelf?
my that's the modern WWE, and that's the Wing Eagle. Yeah, that's sitting on my shelf in my house
Right.
right now.
Very nice, very nice.
Not a very good
You know,
picture,
I
but
got
we'll send a better one tomorrow.
I've got a set of those, those belt stands that you see like at New Japan in the press conferences, like it's like the acrylic thing. I got a 4-pack of those now, so that's what this one's sitting on, and then I got like 3
Oh,
more of them. So
nice,
you
yeah,
can get it on Amazon for very affordable. So you might want to look into that to
yeah.
have your belt
I actually
standing
have
on.
a different cabinet display. I'm gonna put those in that has a light on the inside of it. So yeah, once I
Nice.
move
I want
everything over, I'm gonna definitely look into that.
I want to get one of those display cases, like it's like cubes stacked up on each other that you put the belts in each one, and then it's like
Yeah.
all see that's like glass all the way around. But I think I might get some pushback for that from the missus.
I have a feeling
Right, you gotta make sure it's okay with wifey first.
So that's the
That's
thing.
right. Happy wife, happy
you
life,
guys
right?
you like your belts, and I am somebody, I will say I've never been really into the belts, but there was one that was there at the show that I thought really long and hard about getting, and then when I went back, it was gone.
It was gone. Yeah,
Oh,
that one guy. Yeah, his belts went fast.
Yeah, they had the NXT title, and it was signed by Sami
Yeah,
Zayn.
Sam by Sammy. Yeah,
oh.
and he didn't want to. It wasn't very expensive either.
It was
Are
$600.
we talking the
Was it
original?
600?
It was
Damn.
$600.
Are we talking the
So
original
it had to
NXT
be.
title with the big X,
The big
Yes.
X. Yeah,
like the big white strap on it and everything?
yeah.
Yes.
I like
The
that belt
pretty
better than
one?
the current one.
Me too.
Yeah, the wife just wants the table selfies, but yeah, she was all about getting pictures with her girls. She got Renee Paquette and Tony Storm and Athena and Moxley. I didn't get
Ruby.
Moxley because we were at a panel. So
Ruby.
oh, Ruby, yeah. Oh, let's talk about Ruby and the chop.
Yeah.
Bury your
So
face.
I just remembered it. That's why.
so on day 2, she was there both days, and this poor sap went up to her table and paid for a selfie. But apparently, I didn't hear the exchange, so I just saw this like right before it happened. Apparently, he asked her to give him a chop to his bare chest before the picture. So I turn around and we're all kind of huddled together. I think we're trying to figure out who we were going to go talk to. And all of a sudden, to see this guy take his shirt off, and Ruby backed him up against the wall, like with her hand, and then just let it go. Just gave him a damn knife edge chop, and it echoed through that entire room.
Yes, the echo. I can still hear the echo
Yeah.
right now.
And then when they took the picture, she had left a giant handprint on his chest for the picture. So
It was so big. It was so red. Oh my
because
goodness.
he was a pasty fella.
He
It's like
was.
he might have been afraid of the sun. I don't know,
He might have been.
but he's got a memory for life now. So that's awesome.
He
But,
does.
Exactly.
and see, that's the kind of stuff you can do with the conventions. You can be a little weird, and it's all in good fun. It's
Where's your Jimmy Hart record?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
You got to have
I
it
just
close
got it.
to there.
I just got it
Yeah.
framed this week.
Oh,
Very
nice. You got,
So
yeah.
So for those that don't know, the Gentrys was Jimmy Hart's singing group back in the 60s before he got into wrestling. So he was there, and when we went, I brought this with me. I found this on eBay like a month ago because I wanted to get him to sign it. And he did. You can see it right there in the, about there. It made it out to me and the wife and signed it. It was really cool. He said he had about 4 or 5 of those over the course of the first day. I don't know how many he had the second day. But that's going to go up on the wall above my record player, and because you can't find those records new. They didn't really release a lot of those because it wasn't a big hit after 1964 or 5 or wherever. So I had to find a used one that was a little beat up. So that's why I put it in the frame, so it's got a little protection to it.
Exactly.
Oh, Stacy.
That was fun
Athena
too.
said no one could pay her enough money to do that to them. Oh, Christian, yeah, you met Christian and Gangrel, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
did. Hold on.
Minderz.
Give me a second. I'll get to Gangrel.
Yeah, you didn't send me all the good pictures, so I can put them up on the screen. So you got to hold them up.
I did earlier.
You sent me a bunch of them, but you didn't send me that one.
Yes, I did.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because there's me and Matt Cardona.
Yeah. Who also said he cannot do our podcast. I asked if he would come on. He said he doesn't have time for. He barely has time to do his own. He said so.
That one's fun. There's me and Mick.
Yeah. Mick is Mankind.
Uh-huh.
He did 2 pictures, so he was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Did he shake your hand?
No, but he gave me a hug.
Okay, because both times I've met him, he was not doing handshakes.
He didn't shake. He did. When I sat down next to him, he put his arm
15
around
years
me.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he had a cold or something that day. There's Gangrel.
Oh, wait.
He also main evented the Black Label Pro Show.
I got to fix that one. There we go.
It's all of us.
Oh, look. There
I had
you
stuff
go.
in my hand, so I couldn't put my arm around him.
And then you guys did. Okay, wait. There's my Victoria picture.
Okay.
And
there's my Uncle Fred picture.
Nice.
And he looks like he could be your legit uncle.
I look so tiny.
I know, right? Short. He is a huge man.
It's speaking of Gangrel, we went to the there's a picture of you with the belt. That's a better picture of the belt there.
Yes, it is.
Very nice. The craftsmanship is superb on that belt.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But speaking of Gangrel, he was a part of the Attitude Era panel on Sunday or Saturday. It was him and Foley and Devon, which was awesome. I loved the panels at the expo.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
But there was a point where he took his teeth out for talking. And there was a guy sitting toward the front that you would have thought he was told there was no Santa Claus. He like
he lost everything. He just went, huh?
Right. Kayfabe was killed for him right there.
Oh.
Kayfabe was gone. I was gonna say, because we saw we saw 2 panels, because we saw the Attitude Era, which, man,
and the ECW.
that ballroom filled up quick.
Yes, it did. Yeah. I'm so glad we didn't leave.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Because then we've been to the ECW one right before, which
that was my favorite. I love the ECW.
Francine and Sandman and Shane Douglas and the Blue Meanie and Nova. Yeah.
Yeah. And also,
did you get your flag signed? Did you end up getting your flag signed?
I've got to wait until next year when I got more money.
Gotcha.
To be able to make the rounds. So that will happen, but it'll happen next year. Also, shout out to Sabu. Had to go to the hospital on day 2.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure what happened, but he put out a tweet later in the day and said he was all right. So, it's just kind of chaotic, because when I was walking from my room to where the expo was, I saw Van Dam getting hustled to the lobby because that's where Sabu was, and they're putting him on the gurney and running him out. So it was a little hectic.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's
Mark, you might need to restart your mic. You're cutting in and out pretty bad.
Oh, okay. Kill time.
We'll kill time. Bari, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was, you know what, really just being there and seeing how freely like the superstars and legends moved around and stuff like that. Like, you know, you could be in one area and run into like we were eating, and you know, Heath Slater was there at the bar eating right along with us. You know, so it was just that experience of seeing all the superstars and seeing so many different types of fans. You know, that was cool. I love the diversity.
With the karaoke, I know you didn't stay for too much of the karaoke, but we got to sit there and have a drink with the Bushwhacker.
Yeah. I seen he and Mark were sitting there exchanging words there for a second. Wise words, I hope.
Let's hope they're wise words. We'll see when he comes back. Maybe we'll be able to. Nope, he's not here yet. He's really trying.
All right. We good?
You're really quiet.
Let me see.
Oh wait, maybe not.
Better?
Better.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about you and having conversation with the Bushwhacker the night of karaoke.
Yeah. I had missed out on Bushwhacker Luke through the whole expo. Excuse me. I'm almost over this cold. But when we got to the after party, after everything was over with, he was kind of holding court in one of the tables there. So I took it upon myself. I didn't ask him for a picture or anything like that because, you know, he was off the clock. But I wanted to talk to him a little bit and I told him he was my first wrestling autograph back when I was about 9 years old. So just kind of shot the shit with him a little bit about the sheep herders, and he told me how he went to be the Bushwhackers because they paid better in the WWF to be the goofy guys instead of being the sheep herders, which I
exactly right. They got paid better and less injuries.
Yeah,
that's right. Really nice guy. I was a little surprised that he was there after Butch passed, like I think that week.
yeah.
But I think all of the money he made off his like pictures and autographs and everything, I think went to his family.
Yeah, it was
Or at
that
least a
was what it was
percentage of it.
supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it was cool to see him. Really nice guy. But yeah, he was in great spirits from what I could see. So I think that was good.
That
for him.
depends on how many spirits he had in him at that point. Because he was already there when we got there.
Did he share a White Claw with the Jersey Shore guy?
No. No, he wasn't. He wasn't drinking no White Claws. He was drinking something a little bit more stiff, I believe.
Now, funny story, I do have to add in, and I don't think I told. Well, I told Minder this. As I was leaving out, there was a huge circle of fans and wrestlers all sitting in the hallway. They were all out there drinking and carrying on. One of them stopped me and gave me a little shot glass, and they were taking a toast for the Squared Circle Expo, and the lady who was leading the toast said her part, went to go take her shot, stopped, and said, and I quote, "Is that a fucking baby in here?"
Was that the guy's baby in the leather stroller and the gold
yes. Jersey Shore had brought his baby to the drinking circle for the toast.
Well, I guess points for being an attentive father to not let the child out of his sight. I guess, but yeah, that kid doesn't stand a chance, man. He was in a stroller with like a leather blanket. Was it Dolce or Gucci or one of those fancy?
Louis Vuitton.
I want to say it was Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I want to say it was Louis Vuitton blanket.
Right, and yeah, they put like something was like he was wearing spikes on his shirt or something, or it was a fiasco. And these people were sitting right in front of us at the sorry.
You're good. They were sitting in front of us during the Squared Circle Expo wrestling match.
Yeah, being very annoying. I don't know if Lunchables lady was as annoying as those guys were.
Lunchables lady was the one that gave me a dirty look because I pulled her purse back because her husband had moved up to the other seat, and I pulled her purse back because that's when Cardona ended up in front of us. And I was like, well, I don't want her purse to get knocked over, so I pulled it back, and then she's like, give it here. And I was like, sorry, jeez, I was just trying to help.
It's like you were gonna run off with it.
Yeah. I don't run anyway.
A low-speed pursuit.
It would have been a real low speed. Yeah, especially now.
So, Bari, we got to find a way to trick out Minder's wheelchair before Saturday.
Exactly. I was thinking maybe we can get some streamers and maybe some bottle rockets.
I know somebody that might take to this like a fish to water, and she's probably listening in the comments still if she hasn't already gone to get Chinese food. Because
Stacy,
my lady has a knack for decoration and being
she
festive.
does.
So
She very well does. And I've got some of those. Oh, she's she already told me that she would bring me the little footrest that she had this today on Facebook that she was sitting in.
oh
I
yeah,
said, "Hey, you want to bring me that footrest? I need something to prop my ankle up on."
do you have your Get Your Shit and Move T-shirt? Because
I don't. I'm not
It
gonna
would be
we're gonna have
very
to be on the
appropriate.
we're gonna have to be on the ball if something's going on. One of us has to be in charge of getting you out of the way.
No,
So
Out the way.
that could
I kind of have that on lockdown already.
you
I
got your
I
Miss
have a
Daisy.
I have a 10-year-old that has already volunteered to take care of me all night that night. So,
I'm gonna give him $10 to try to do a wheelie.
Yeah.
I hate you both. I hate you
15
both.
if it's right. I'll give him 15 if it's successful.
Actually,
If it's successful.
do we really? We should really go through these because there are a few people that have offered. One person in particular, Mark, that I'm kind of curious and I kind of want to let him push me around because he told me, and it might have had something to do with a certain wrestler that you don't particularly care for and thinks that's a little chump.
Mm-hmm.
But his father volunteered
Uh-huh.
to push me around Saturday night as long
Isn't
as
he
I
gonna?
let. He wanted to tell the story though. He wants to tell the story of how I ended up that way.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Isn't he gonna be busy shooting home movies of his kid that day?
Oh, probably, but it's okay with me.
Oh, she's already on it.
Is there some way we can attach Basil to the back of it?
I'm sure if there's zip ties, you can attach anything to anything.
You sure can.
I'm scared to see what my wheelchair is going to look like by the time this is all over.
Hey.
Are you making a sign for Jimmy on
I
Saturday?
probably will. Yeah, I need to do that before Saturday. Okay.
You got a couple days.
My concern is, how are you getting to the show? I'm assuming, Bar, are you gonna be driving her there?
He's
Yeah.
driving me there.
Ah,
He's in charge of me this weekend to an extent.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Or bungee cords.
Bungee cords.
Why does a bungee cord and me in a wheelchair just make me extremely nervous?
we're gonna hook the bungee cord to the back, and then the other half of the bungee cord to like the door frame, so it just stretches out.
Well, I've already.
That could end badly though.
Well,
Real
here's
bad.
the thing. So I know we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but I know a few of the matches that are going to be happening Saturday that I know for a fact, just because of who's in them, will go out of the ring. So I've already talked to Dave, and we're going to make sure I get pulled back to the merchant stand before
Nice.
those matches happen. So I'll already be out of the way, even though I'm kind of bummed that I won't be up where I'm usually at. But
I call that spot Old Lady Position 1 because
Yeah,
that's
there
where
you
the
go.
old broad from the last show went
yeah, that spot.
when she politely asked me to get out of her way so she could see.
Yeah, so don't stand in my way, Mark, because I
Oh,
won't
I'll
be
try.
as nice as the old lady.
No, probably not. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I can't use CMC as a human shield this time because he probably won't let me.
probably not.
During that dog collar match, I was hiding behind him and Devontae in the front area.
All right, we jumped off the rail. This is not 0-1 night. This is
No. We're just having too much fun right now. And,
we
Of
are.
course.
That's what it is.
All right.
It's always a good time though when we all get together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do have some stuff to discuss from the last week or so. I guess the big story going around is AEW made the announcement they're going to be running Wembley Stadium in August
Wembley
for
Stadium.
All In.
Yeah.
Not
how
Wembley
about
Arena. Not Wembley Arena. They're doing the Big Daddy.
They're doing the big
soccer
day,
stadium.
exactly. Right. They're
The
trying to
90,000 seater that they're going to
they're
try
trying to
sell
top SummerSlam
90,000.
92 numbers.
It's so here's what I understand. As I understand, there's already like 40,000 pre-reserved orders. So they're going to draw a number. I don't know if they're going to get 90. I don't know if they're planning on 90. But the cons, they're a big deal in British soccer, so it kind
Exactly.
of makes
Yeah.
so I could see them wanting to do that. I got to remember to hit the mute button when I'm going to do that shit.
No, you're good.
But it's even
what's
like
gonna be the main event? What's gonna be the main event?
what needs to be the main event is Punk versus Kenny Omega. That needs to be the main event if they want to fill that damn thing up.
Yeah, it's got to be Punk and Omega.
It ain't gonna happen.
I'll tell you, there's one match that I want to see happen at that show. It's not going to be the main event, which is fine. We need to get a Bryan Danielson Zack Sabre Jr. match.
I
at
agree.
some point.
Yeah,
I agree.
And England is the time to do it.
Yeah. If he's not too busy with Blackpool.
Oh, the BBC?
The BBC.
AJ says they'll get at least 50-55. I agree with that.
I agree. They'll get right. If they make it to 60, then that's a great number too. But yeah, definitely 50-55.
I am tentatively predicting 65.
Okay.
That's where my head's at on this.
And that's a fair number.
Yeah, and that's a successful number. That's still the highest grossing attendance they've ever had.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, they definitely gotta come up with some money making matches if they want to, reach that 65K number.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I imagine they'll use a lot of main event talent from the UK for that show.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
They got to dip into New Japan. They got to get Okada for that show. Okada, Tanahashi. They got to play every ace they got to make a show worthy of Wembley Stadium.
Right, this is the big show, so you got to pull out you got to pull everything you can out.
Because MJF versus Orange Cassidy for the world title is not going to draw a successful house. And
that just gave me heartburn thinking about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Although I'm all for MJF cutting promos on Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah, they're always great.
Although Darby Allin and MJF, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I won't
mind seeing it. That
will
be interesting.
That will be very interesting. I'm not saying that it would draw. Like, I'm not saying it should be main event or anything like that. Yeah. But I could watch that.
And then I'm going to go to the opposite side. I'm going to say that MJF and Sammy is going to be interesting whenever they hook it up.
Yeah.
AJ brought me a point. Ospreay's been medically cleared too, so he'll be
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
That would be a fun match. Ospreay and MJF world title match. That's one that could turn some heads, I think.
Exactly.
It's another one of those along the lines of the match with Danielson where nobody thought that he could hang with Danielson technically for an hour. So now the question is, if this match happens, I don't know if that's what they're thinking. If he gets in the ring with Ospreay, it's one of those, can he hang with Ospreay doing all the aerial stuff and the strikes and everything? Because it's kind of outside of MJF's comfort zone still.
It really is. I was going to say, MJF doesn't do the aerial.
Flippy dippy.
Yeah, he doesn't do flippy dippy.
No.
That's why he's one of my favorites.
That's for the pores.
It's for the pores. Wait, I was a pore. Crap.
Hey, I'm still a pore.
I am too now.
Yeah, AJ makes a good point. Ospreay will wrestle Omega if they can't get Punk. Yeah, there's a title match there still to have. Ospreay still has to get his rematch for that U.S. title.
Yeah.
But I think for a main event, they need to do one of two things. And if Gary was here, he would be probably saying this before me. Either Omega and Punk or the Elite against Punk and FTR.
Yeah.
In a trios match.
Or why not split them up and have a double main event, aka no main event, and have FTR and the Bucks and Omega and Punk. Either way.
Yeah. See, that's smarter booking because that's more bang for your. Well, I was about to say more bang for your buck. That's a Young Bucks pun.
See what you did there?
I see. Something else they could think about now that Jeff Hardy popped back up. Maybe they do FTR and the Hardys.
Yeah. We've never seen that one.
We have not seen that. And the Hardys, I'm not a fan of Jeff Hardy. I've been on the record for that, but they're still a draw.
Exactly.
The way you look at it, they're gonna draw. They're gonna draw.
It's gonna be a terrible match.
As long as Jeff is sober and
it's still gonna be a terrible match. What has Matt Hardy done that's been impressive lately?
Rebby?
Put a bunch of young guys. Yeah. Oh, Matt Hardy, stay off of that woman.
Please.
What would Senor Benjamin think?
But no, that's what I'm saying though. Matt, none of his matches have even been remotely interesting to watch.
None of his matches have been longer than 5 minutes.
I know. They're not fun to watch.
What about the juggernaut that is the Hardys, Isaiah Cassidy, and Hook as a unit?
It's a great learning experience for Isaiah and Hook. As far as anything else,
I just hope we're not getting a blood and guts match between those guys and the Firm.
If we get a Stampede match at Wembley, I'm gonna be pissed.
We're getting a Stampede match. It's at Wembley. We're gonna get that, but let's not put those 8 people in blood and guts. Let's not do that, please. Let's not ruin the double cage match.
We'll get the best friends on horseback like they're on a fox hunt at some point.
No. They'll have Pam bring them in or whatever her damn name is.
Sue.
There we go. Sue Pam.
In a minivan.
Bring them in her van.
It'll be a British minivan, so she'll be on the wrong side of the car.
Exactly. It'll be a station wagon.
AJ, you've been thinking, damn, Matt, get off my daughter. I've got 12 grandkids already. I swear, he's got, 5 kids now?
Yeah.
It's like every time he takes a break from wrestling, he pops out another kid.
He goes home and he sneezes on Rebby and she's 5 months pregnant.
Cardio training. That's how he trains his cardio.
I guess.
I guess so.
But I digress. So we'll have to see what happens there. AEW loves to take gambles. They did it with Arthur Ashe and it worked. It paid off. They drew a big house there. But they also had a very strong title match for that. They had Omega and Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of goes along with. So I got to think, unless it's Adam Cole and MJF for the title, I don't know who else they would have against MJF in a title match that would.
Adam Cole and MJF?
If that's where they go in August with Adam Cole after his Jericho stuff's over.
If he doesn't lose all of his comeback
or his
shine.
Right. Because, he's going up against the black hole that is Chris Jericho.
He is. Because now we have poor Ricky Starks that came back that was doing great.
He's getting Jay White now. He's getting Jay White. That'll be fun.
Okay. I'll let that.
Bullet
that
Club
was one
Gold.
person I missed at Expo that I wanted to see was Juice.
Oh, yeah, I met Juice. He was cool.
I didn't get over to Juice's area.
I mean...
Although it would have been really hard for me not to call him CJ Parker, but...
Oh, I knew when he was Juice before he was CJ.
Yeah, I knew when he was CJ. That was when I found out who he was. I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy.
But I got so much respect for Juice because after he got released from WWE, he went and just basically broke himself back down to just the spare parts and went to the dojo and just started all over again and made himself into a hell of a wrestler. There he is.
There he is.
I got more than a few compliments on those pants, by the way.
I'm sure you did.
They were pretty sweet.
Atomics. They're not quite Zubas, but they're very comfortable.
Yeah, y'all were in comfy pants all weekend. I was in uncomfy jeans all weekend.
I had on jeans Friday, but Saturday I said, screw this and putting on sweatpants.
Yeah.
There you go. There's always... Oh, hell, Ed Gonzalez was wearing Zubas the whole weekend. He's running the damn thing. So
yeah, he was.
and also, getting back off topic, the number of knockoff Burberry scarves that weekend was
goodness.
astronomical.
The number of knockoff Burberry scarves and the horrible belt replicas. And oh, God.
Yeah.
I said some of you guys are fans, but some of you guys are cutting it real short. You know that? Real close.
Yes. Goodness.
We didn't really, I know this is kind of going back to Squared Circle, but we really didn't talk about the championship matches we saw that night, considering that they queened a new women's champion.
They queened?
Yeah, they queened.
Crowned.
Queened.
Freya something or other.
Freya the Slayer.
Freya the Slayer, thank you.
Freya the Slayer.
Yes. So then,
from Alaska.
She won the Nasty 9 match.
Yeah.
Then what else? Heath and Rhino retained the SDX tag team titles.
Referring back to Heather's, when she was on, though, when we had her on, didn't she say that they didn't want to have an odd number? And that
She
was the
said
whole reason, because they
that
got to
was Ed's
7.
that
That was
was
the
Ed's
reason she
thing.
was getting into it.
She said Ed was trying to avoid an odd number, but
Yeah,
when they found a number that alighted with a good adjective, I think it worked out.
they worked
Exactly.
because Heather wrestled in that match. She did a great
She
job.
did a hell of a job. There's a lot of good talent in that match.
There
Heather,
was.
Steph DeLander made her debut
Mhm.
there.
Uh,
Mickey James was there. She didn't wrestle.
she didn't
but,
wrestle. Reed. Barry, what's Reed?
God,
Shanna?
I can't think. I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of her name, her first name.
Shanna Reed? Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
That sounds not, yeah.
But no, all the girls in that match, it was hard to keep track of everybody in that match. Kylan King was in that match from the NWA.
Yeah, Kylan King was in that match, yeah.
Although
current Knockouts Tag Team Champion, by the way. Both members of the Hex were in that match. Allison Kay, Marty Bell. Sue Young was on the Black Label show. She wasn't on the SDX show.
I liked Sue Young.
So did my wife. Surprisingly,
I like Sue Young a lot.
I like, but she's awesome. Married to Rich Swann. I don't know if you knew that.
Did not know that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
I need that NBC public service announcement graphic to put up after I drop knowledge.
Yeah, there you go.
I bet I can find it.
I was looking to see too. I was excited to see Jack Vaughn, but that's just me.
I really like Jack Vaughn. He was fun.
I love Jack Vaughn.
I want the T-shirt that his partner had.
What did it say?
It was what was it? Something like grab a hold and get off my lawn.
Oh yeah, I don't remember exactly what it said.
It's awesome.
But that was the night I wore my thigh slap T-shirts for Jack Vaughn. So I was gonna say, Barry, are you gonna tell the story about how when Cardona came out to fight Jake Omen and they go, and it's a no disqualification match, about how my face went from
your face went from huh to real fast in about 2.2 seconds.
They actually announced that at the end of the main event last year, so I kind of knew that was coming. So that's long-term storytelling.
That's real long-term storytelling. But yeah, it was funny because they were sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to watch this. And then they said, no disqualification. I just go. And I was over it. I was done. I was over it at that point. Barry just sat there and laughed at me because he's like, because every time something happened, I'd look at him. I just give him the eye roll. He's like,
this is what we signed up for, sis.
Yep. It was still a great time, though. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Okay, back to what we were talking about earlier. Let's go back to AEW and Wembley.
Okay.
Or whatever. Thoughts? If you guys want to talk about something else or whatever.
Oh, well, we got more.
My only thoughts on as far as AEW at Wembley. If they get the crowd they want, they got to put it on a hell of a show.
Yep.
Simple as that.
And I hope they do. I hope they have a really good show. I have a lot of criticism of AEW, but I still want them to be successful. But I also want them
Mark, like we said a couple of months ago, AEW is what it's going to be, and either you're going to enjoy it or you're not.
Yeah. And there's some people on that show that I really enjoy. It's how they're getting booked is what is the sticking point for me.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping that Ring of Honor kind of fixes that, like Kingston going to Ring of Honor challenging Claudio. Then you got, I'm saying Utah Minderz, even though you say the other one.
I goofed up. I said useless last week, Barry.
He dropped the pure title to Shibata, which is awesome because I love Shibata.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're getting interesting. If Penta can stop breaking people's ankles on Canadian Destroyers off ladders, the tag team division will be sound. I still think they should have put it on the Kingdom, but that's just me because I love the Kingdom.
I agree. I wanted it on the Kingdom.
Yes.
I did want those titles on the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I really thought Mark Briscoe was going to win. I really did.
Yeah, that would have made sense, but
It would have.
It would
But
have
we
made
are.
sense.
But we're talking
yeah.
AEW booking, so.
I'll tell you what we're talking about, Minders, because when we talk about AEW and Ring of Honor, it only comes
Yep.
down to one thing.
God!
I was saying, have you not seen that yet, Bart? I knew what was coming.
See, I didn't realize that Ricardo Montalban played Khan in the series also, not just in the movie.
I didn't.
You don't
News
know
to
who
me.
Ricardo Montalban is, do you, Minders?
Nope, sure don't.
Remember, you don't know Fantasy Island with Tattoo?
No.
It's D-Plane, D-Plane.
Well, I know that just from pop culture.
Sorry, I'm losing Minders here. See, AJ
I might be.
chiming in.
You might be losing
That's how we
Barry
felt
too.
with Brian Cage. I'm maybe aging myself. I'm younger than you, Minders, and I'm still sounding older
Well,
than
but
you.
you have
for
to
them
understand,
companies
we
that
didn't
do
have
references.
cable till.
Shit, neither did I.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but you have more
reruns on.
friends.
I had
Yeah,
what?
you have more friends and family that had cable than I did.
If it wasn't for my grandma, I would not have seen a lot of NWA in the late '80s on TV.
Yeah, see, I didn't. Dad was only into WWE, and I'm gonna break everybody's
My dad
heart.
was
Dad
in-
was. He was a big tugboat fan, so like when I got to meet Fred, that like was a moment for me. Even Barry saw me get a little emotional, and
Yeah.
that was a fun moment. But his favorite wrestler at the time was Mark. Don't get mad, but he was a Hogan fan. He even liked the Ultimate Warrior. So I mean, he was a total face. He was a total face Mark, and I
he
was
heart
up
faces.
until he hearted faces, and I was too until I started watching it a little bit closer, and then I discovered, hey, wait a minute, those bad guys are pretty fun.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. The bad guys look like they're having more fun. They're cheating and doing dirty shit
Yeah.
and yelling at the fans and slapping referees. It's like, well, that's a blast. That's awesome. Until Ric Flair shows Tommy Young and Tommy knocks him on his ass.
Exactly. Get in there and coach.
I heard a story that the first time he did that, George Scott, I think, was the booker, and he just ripped Flair a new asshole. Thought he was killing the business by taking a bump for the referee. Like, come on, it's great.
Yeah.
Because those referees don't fuck around.
No, they do not.
Have you seen the video of when a fan jumped in the ring in WCW and Mark Curtis kicked the shit out of him? It was one of the pay-per-views.
I think I've seen that. I've seen several videos like that where fans go in and the referees just go and whoop their asses. And I'm like,
you know Mark Curtis, Hildebrand, and
Brian Hildebrand.
Yeah, and just went full Pele on this guy. Just kicked him in the. I think he got him in the head because he was going after Hogan. I think it was NWO era, and I think they were beating up Piper, and this guy jumped in the ring, and then Hildebrand just lit him up, and then security got him out before Hildy could beat him up too bad.
Hey, if you jump in the ring, you're asking for it, man.
You're asking for it. You just put your ass on the line, and whatever happens, happens.
You are fair game if you get in the ring.
It's like everybody kept telling me when I was lined up for MJF, do you know what you're getting yourself into? Yeah, I signed up for it.
Well, remember Heather's reaction when you said that you were looking most forward to MJF on the show? She was like, why?
Yeah, she was real confused. She was like, why?
She was scared of MJF, and she was running the show.
Yeah. I knew what I signed up for, and I was ready for it. I was excited.
Yep. You handled yourself well from what I saw. I wasn't there. You did that. Oh, AJ wrote a novel in the comments here. Got into wrestling through Here Comes the Pain. I love that video game, Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown. One day decided to watch and saw Umaga fucking up Ric Flair. Then my dad bought the Wrestling Gold DVDs, learned all about rock and roll midnight back when Tiger Jeet Singh is a deep cut.
Yeah, that's real deep.
Ironic because he used a sword on people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, AJ's dad is another one that if you want to pick their brain, he's a good one to pick a brain too. He's a real good one. Mm-hmm.
See, I had to learn all this stuff myself because my dad was not a wrestling fan. Still isn't. He thought it was a waste of time.
Come on.
You know
Although
what, Mark? I was pretty much the same way. My dad, that's who I very first watched wrestling with, was my dad, and I can remember the very first match we watched together was the main event, Hogan and Andre. And after that, I kind of just took off with wrestling, and he was kind of like, I didn't think my son would be so big into this, but okay.
now
So
to
yeah, I had to learn a lot on my own too.
yeah, to my dad's credit, when I was 6 years old, my brother was at a friend's house on a sleepover, and he let me stay up to watch Saturday night's main event, and it was the night that Savage or Honky Tonk hit Savage with the guitar, and then Hogan came out and they did the handshake.
Hogan came out and the whole Mega Powers,
the big
brother.
handshake. And more notably, that's the night they debuted the Pile Driver music video. If you remember that.
That's
Plastic
a while
Coco
ago.
Beware at his very best. But yeah, he let me stay up until and I watched the whole thing. I was big-eyed because I was a macho guy. Even back then I was. Once he turned babyface. When he was a heel, I didn't like him. But
Of course
yeah,
not.
it was,
Little kids never like heels. They never do.
no. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
AJ with the little pics. Now, kind of along these lines, AJ, when my grandma told me when she was younger, she was a fan of Wilbur Snyder. So, man that invented the abdominal stretch back in the day.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
that was way back in the day. I've
That's a
heard
deep
Corny
cut
talk
there.
about him a couple times, I think.
Yeah. I think Jim Ross dropped his name on a WrestleMania. Well, a few WrestleManias. Whenever somebody does an abdominal stretch, you name drop Wilbur Snyder.
Yeah.
Yes. But yes. So, what else do we got? We got to talk a little bit about the draft. Starting next Friday, they're shuffling it up again. WWE.
I know what Mark's hoping for.
What's Mark hoping for, Minderz?
You're hoping for a belt reunification situation.
I would love it if they just said, you know what, we'll do a draft, but they unify the women's title. They take the tag titles and just give them one belt, or well, two in this case, and give Roman one belt. Just make one undisputed champion, and then they go between both shows, but the rest of the roster's fair game. And
I can
but
see
from
that.
what I was reading a little bit today, apparently the thought is that this is going to be the hard reset for Triple H to really start new as the booker.
Here's the problem:
Because
the two women I want to see go at it. I hope he's probably, and I feel like he's going to put them on two separate shows.
Bianca and Ronda or Rhea.
Yep, no, not Ron.
Yeah.
No one wants.
I'm
to watch
sorry.
Ronda.
There's
one wants
if
to
there's
watch
so many
Ronda.
women with whose initials are RR, it's easy to get confused. But yeah, Rhea and Bianca's the match that has to happen, and it needs to
It
be a
has to.
unification match for that title.
It has to happen. I can't.
Uh,
And then are they going to move Judgment Day then all over to SmackDown? Are they going to split up Judgment Day?
See, that's the thing. You don't know. They might split up the Street Profits. You never know.
They could split up the Bloodline.
They could.
I
don't
think
know
they're
why.
gonna with the singles champions, they're gonna put Theory on SmackDown and put Gunther on Raw.
I think that'd be smart.
Yeah. I know Fox kind of has a hard on for Roman and for Ronda because Ronda's a sports star. She's a big name, so they want her on SmackDown. And they want Roman on Raw or on SmackDown because he's their top guy. I think Raw needs Roman more than SmackDown does right now.
Yeah, they do.
Raw needs something.
You don't get that championship presence on Raw because Roman's not ever there.
No.
Although
very rarely does he show up.
Yeah, but Paul does a good job speaking on his behalf, though.
Yeah.
AJ, you're never going to give this up, are you?
Hang on, what did he say? Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, our friend AJ is convinced that Roman is going to break Bruno Sammartino's record. AJ doesn't realize that he has to hold the belt for about 5 more years to do so.
What was it they said?
I think he's going to...
What did Corny say? It was like 20... Oh, we lost him. I think
we lost
Corny
Marty.
said
He'll be back.
it was like 2026 or 2028, wasn't it?
So he won the belt in 2020, 2020, right?
One.
Like August.
Was
He won
it
the
in
Universal
August?
title, I think, at SummerSlam of 2020.
Okay. So he's got to go to
think.
like
So that puts him.
2028.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I know Walter went about 3 years with the UK title. He's getting defensive.
They put me out. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, no.
That's all right. AJ's arguing with us that Roman's going to beat Roman's going to beat Bruno's record.
I would advise you all to open that can of worms.
I already did. He's already going off.
As strong as Roman's title run has been, and probably will continue to be, even he would get old after year 4.
That's what I'm
and
thinking.
Then the fans would turn
think
on him again.
If he goes too long, we're in an era of people with a very short attention span.
Exactly.
And the fact that he's been a champ this long actually surprises me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I thought it was something when Samoa Joe was the Ring of Honor champion for 2 years.
Yeah.
Which was almost unheard of then, and that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just think Roman's going to get old, or everybody's just going to get sick of seeing it, and they're not going to have anything they're going to be able to do with it.
I'm calling it now. Cody beats Roman at Mania 40 in Philadelphia.
I think he will hold it for at least another. I don't think he's gonna drop it at SummerSlam. They won't.
No.
Roman won't drop it at one of the little. I call them little pay-per-views because there's only 4
other
in
than
my
WrestleMania
eyes.
is a little pay-per-view.
Well, okay, there's only 4 in my eyes.
SummerSlam is one of the big. Yeah.
It is Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Those are the big ones. That's what I consider
Extreme
the big
Rules.
No Extreme Rules. No, Reb.
How about Breaking Point?
Bad Reb.
Let's bring back bragging rights.
Exactly.
Let's have another Survivor Series that means nothing.
That means nothing at all. Or how about Great Balls of Fire?
Oh, that logo. That logo was ridiculous.
I mean, we're already stuck with is it Backlash that's in where's it?
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Or
over the limit. I'm already dreading Backlash. I really am, and I feel bad that
I think that might be I got to see what else they've got planned, but it's Brock and Cody should be interesting.
I'm just interested to see if anybody gets stabbed in the shower, but you know.
Well, I mean, that's always a risk, no matter where you are.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah. Here you go, Barry. Just so everybody gets a kind of a blast from the past. Look at that.
Geez.
God. They didn't think that one out real good, did they?
Did Miz?
No, they didn't plan well.
Miz should have been the host for that one.
Oh, that logo would have been massive if he was.
It would have been massive.
Huge.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm curious what they do with the draft. If it's what they're saying, it's Triple H's reset to start over. I'm all for it. But every draft is underwhelming because it's either predictable or they don't do what they need to.
Well,
and they're saying they're going to.
Here's my thing: is that you're saying this is Triple H's reset, right?
Well, that's what I'm reading.
But Vince is back in charge.
No, he said Triple H has still got sole control over creative.
Ha! I'll believe it when I see it.
Now I know it's grain of salt. See how long that lasts, but
yeah.
As far as what he's saying right now, Triple H is still the sole decision maker in creative.
I hope.
AJ, Great Balls of Fire. I still wish Joe would have beat Brock in that match.
Yeah.
Or at least make it a little bit more competitive. It turned up into a squash, which I wasn't down for.
Well, there for a while, all Brock did was squash matches, and it was miserable.
Well, do you want to see him for 30 minutes?
Oh no.
No.
No, 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 no.
Am I missing
But
your
you
point?
can have you can have a 10-minute match and it still be decent. It
Sure.
doesn't have to be, we don't need no freaking Broadway. But a 10-minute match with good back and forth, good story to oh wait, never mind. I'm talking about Brock here. I totally forgot.
Exactly.
Hey, although
He's
Brock is
doing
doing
better
better
now.
storytelling now,
He is
I
doing
do
better
think
now.
he needs to come up a size on his duster though. It was a little snug yesterday.
Oh, I did see
It's
that.
looking like Wish.com Undertaker kind of with the hat and the
It
duster.
was. I chuckled because I
Oh,
was on the phone with Bari when I was watching Raw, and but we got to the main event, and that was what Riddle and Sammy and Owen versus Judgment Day.
Yeah.
What was the point? And there were no animals that flew out of Riddle's ass. I was
Well,
so
he's serious
upset.
now. He's serious now.
That's why
He
the
actually cut a
giraffes flew out
serious
of his ass
promo
faster?
backstage.
Okay.
Well, yesterday, but no, it was just they just wanted to have a little car crash ending. You know, they had all the factions run out and
Right. I
pound
get
an ass.
that.
You know, just
Okay.
for shits and giggles.
AJ's
Right, you
calling
can
me
say
out. He's
WCW to that
right.
one right there.
Uh-oh.
AJ's right.
Is he on his sofa?
I'm not dismissing it, but AJ talking
Hey,
about
yeah, it was an Iron Man match,
the
not the
Iron
Ultimate
Man
Submission
match.
match.
Yeah.
Ultimate Submission was Angle and Benoit.
Backlash
But,
01.
Backlash 01, love that pay-per-view. That's one of my favorite WWF
Yeah, that was
pay-per-views.
a banger right there.
Yes.
Mark, if you ever want to have a good time sometime, get with Bari and you need to ask
Mhm.
him, be like, okay, here's this wrestler. Which WrestleMania and who was their partner or who was their opponent in each of these WrestleMania? He can just about tell you from 1 to 39.
Oh,
It's
I think
sad.
I could probably hang with you. I think
Yeah, I'm
I could be
telling
right there
you.
with you.
I think you two read the same encyclopedia. I'm just saying.
They don't call me the Wrestling Rain Man for nothing.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
Whew,
they also call me the
boy.
Prodigy, Minderz.
The Prodigy.
Oh, I have something.
The Prodigy.
Here's the thing. So I got 2 shirts and I'm not sure which one to wear tomorrow.
Oh no, you didn't get the one I think you did.
Oh, the 100% Premier Prodigy?
Oh,
Prodigy?
oh,
Yeah, I got that
Premier
one.
Podcast. Okay,
Premier Podcast.
that's a good
I
one.
did get that one. I did get that one.
Okay, then you got the other one.
I
Which I think
did.
I know what it is.
It's not the one that says the Prodigy.
No.
I
Must have
got
need
the
to order that
I
one.
hate Reb. Just to
That's so
annoy
mean.
you, Reb. Just to annoy you.
That kid, he's so immature.
Got a lot of growing up to do.
That reminds
You
me.
got a
We'll
lot of
talk
growing up to
about
do.
tomorrow, but we need to talk a little bit about last Thursday because there was a funny that happened.
Okay. Yeah, because you were there, I wasn't, so I'll be curious. But moving on,
Yes.
because the less we talk about CMC, the better. I don't know if you guys had a chance. I watched the pay-per-view on Sunday night, Impact, Rebellion.
I didn't.
I
Barry,
did not.
you?
Okay.
Okay.
Very good pay-per-view. I'm telling you, Impact is my favorite in-ring product on TV right now in the U.S. New Japan, I think, still has them beat, but they had some really good matches. Ace Austin, Chris Bay beat the Machine Guns for the tag titles. Oh, AJ.
Yeah, that was what I was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So let's see, Trey Miguel beat Mike Bailey and Gresham for the X Division title. I'm trying to remember else off the top of my head. The two big matches, the women's title and the world title, were both vacant from injury. Mickey was hurt, and then Josh Alexander was hurt and had to forfeit the title.
Yeah.
So the women's title match, Deonna Purrazzo beat Jordan Grace. And it sounds like Jordan might be done with the company. I'm not sure. They said her contract was expired. And
I thought that was something that
doing the favors.
that almost came up whenever Mickey won her
I think,
match. That was one of the things I was thinking.
yeah, I think her contract expired in March, but she agreed to put Champ over one more time. But I don't know if she's on her way out or she's going to resign or what. Because remember, her husband still works there. Gresham is her
I was
husband.
gonna say, did Gresham resign?
I haven't heard. And I'm not sure how long this contract was for to begin with. So that
Right.
remains to be seen. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Deanna won a really good match. I love watching her wrestle. She's really good. And speaking of spouses, her husband, Steve Macklin, beat Kushida to win the Impact World Championship also.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
but the guest commentator on that match was one national treasure, Nick Aldis, because
I
he
like Nick.
me too, and he came and he announced he had signed with Impact, so he's going to be there for a while. Sounds like he's going to be Macklin's first challenger, probably.
Hey, I'm with it.
Here's what this is what I
If
hate.
my
Whenever
wife is
they-
still in the living room, I could use another foot beat. I don't know if she's back there or not, but
I
if
don't-
she is, she's listening.
Yeah. A foot beat. I love it.
Oh, look! Oh, I see what you did there, AJ. I guess you could say C. Macklin isn't being forgotten anymore. I liked the Forgotten Sons in NXT. Macklin and Blake and Riker.
Yep.
Horribly
They were formidable.
misused. They were formidable and forgotten.
Yes.
But Macklin, honestly, Macklin's doing the best work he's ever done right now in Impact. He's so good. His character's on point right now. Playing up the whole Marine Corps history, being overseas.
Yeah. I just
And
hate it when they have somebody like that they just won the title. Everybody's so happy for him, and then here comes Nick Aldis. He can't. If they're going to be the first challenger, I hope they build it up a little bit more than it being on the very next thing.
I agree.
Because that's just tough to do. It's tough to get behind somebody, especially when a fan favorite's coming back. You don't want to make their title run look ridiculous.
Well, I think Macklin's going to hold it for a while because I think they still want that match with Josh Alexander.
Okay.
So I think he'll hold that title till Alexander comes back. Then maybe Alexander wins it, and then he goes with Aldis. You never know.
Yeah.
Could,
Which I can get behind a little bit better.
I'm all for a heel Aldis.
Yeah.
I love
Definitely.
babyface Aldis, but him as a heel is so good. I stumbled across something over the weekend I hadn't watched yet. I heard rumblings about called Dungeon Wrestling. The Hart
You've
family.
been telling us about
in
it. I
Canada.
haven't got to see it yet.
They don't have full shows on YouTube, but they got matches on there, so I watched a few of those. One of them, their top title is the Stu Hart Heritage Championship. It's like it's a really old looking belt, like not old, but like vintage looking belt.
Mm-hmm.
The old school belts.
Right. And the champion right now is Aldis.
Oh,
It was Harry Smith was the first champion. Aldis beat him. He's a heel over there. He's the national treasure here. In Canada is a heel. He's the cream of the Commonwealth.
I like that.
It's great. So he had a match on YouTube, him against Chris Masters. And Masters is the babyface. Really good match. They went the time limit, but then they got the no, they didn't go time limit. That was the other match I watched. It was Aldis got the pin, but Masters' foot was on the rope or something. Then Wayne Hart, Brett's brother, is the head of officiating in Dungeon Wrestling, so came out and overturned it and restarted the match. And then Aldis, I think, low blowed him and pulled the tights and won in dastardly fashion,
Perfect.
But yeah,
as a
perfect.
good heel should.
And he does it so he's a throwback heel, Nick Aldis.
Good.
He would have been great in the NWA in the '80s as a heel.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
He could have been a horseman. If Tully wasn't there, he could have been a horseman.
Now that's high praise coming from you, Mark.
Yeah, I mean it too. He can talk. He has the
Yeah.
look. Wears the suits. He can wrestle. He can cheat. He has everything that the horsemen were looking for.
Yeah.
But I digress. I'm not here to get crazy about that. But the other match I watched was our buddies, the Bollywood Boys. Remember the Singh brothers from WWE? They're back on the Indies as the Bollywood Boys, and they took on the Billington Bulldogs.
I want to see that. I'm gonna have to look that
Yeah,
match up.
yeah,
It's
same.
so it's Dynamite Kid's nephews, Thomas and Mark Billington, as a tag team. They're both look like they're young kids, skinny. Thomas is the shorter one of the two with the longer hair. He looks just like Dynamite did when he was in Stampede back in the
Oh
like
God.
late 70s, early 80s, and he works like him too.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got
Oh.
that. He does the short bursts. He's fast, and they went the time limit. They went about, I think it was a half-hour time limit,
Oh wow.
Oh
and
wow.
then they went. Then after they got the five extra minutes, and then some other guy interfered and beat everybody up. I forget who it was, but
Glad
I'm
about
hoping I can find if they have streaming or if they're going to start running full shows on YouTube because I want to see more. It was like throwback wrestling. It looked like old Stampede wrestling, like the old territory wrestling from back in the day.
that. Doesn't surprise me, especially with after some of the comments that Brett made
Right.
this week and stuff about Moxley and
Exactly. Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
AEW period and
Uh-huh. It was wrestling period.
yeah. Well,
But all the guys waiting on the floor for somebody to jump on him, which he's not wrong.
yeah.
Morally.
No, he's not at all. That's
Yeah.
it's kind of like the video I sent you that I didn't realize you put it up, Mark, before I sent it to the group, and it was just Joe, Smo Joe, just walking away.
Oh, Samoa Joe. Yeah, he's like Fonzie. He just walks away. Hey,
Yeah.
you know.
Hey, best spot in wrestling to this day.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's the one that makes the most sense.
Yes.
And it's like I said to you guys in the message. Are you familiar with Kikutaro?
I'm not.
Japanese mass wrestler. He's a comedy wrestler. Very silly.
So yeah, no, not at all.
No.
So back in ROH, and this was about 05, I want to say. Mick Foley was in Ring of Honor as like a talking head. He wasn't wrestling,
Okay.
but he was feuding with Samoa Joe. Like he would be bringing people in to wrestle Joe, and for a match. He brought out Kikutaro under the name Ibasan Jack. He was just like Cactus Jack with the mask and a big paper ear on the side of his mask. And he was basically doing all of Jack's moves, the horrible punches in the corners, the running knee strike in the corner, but very comically underwhelming.
Yeah.
So Joe was just no selling everything. And at one point, he put Sako on, puts the mandible claw on Joe. For a second, Joe's like registering. Then all of a sudden, he just stops, puts his hands on his hips, and just stands there with the fingers in his mouth. And then Kikutaro looks at him, and Joe just bites down on his hand. And you would have thought that Kikutaro was gonna lose a hand. He was freaking out. It was awesome. It was
That's
so fun.
great. That's great.
That's on one of the Ring of Honor compilation DVDs they put out several years ago. I don't know if you remember that. It was like they had 4 DVDs that they put out. One was like International Stars. One was like Bloodiest Matches. One was like Best in the World or something. It was like with like Lance Storm and Punk.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I was thinking I seen it. I didn't get a chance to get my
Yeah.
hands on it, but I think I've seen it.
I think that match was on the international one. That match has the one where I first saw Joe versus Kabashi.
Ah.
Which best match I ever saw in Ring of Honor. Chef's kiss, I say.
Chef's kiss.
Yes, yes. But I've taken us on another wild cul-de-sac of information. So I think it's time to move on because we got our usual orders of business to deal with here.
We do.
Yep, and we will start off. We have a new inductee into the JTR Hall of Fame, so why don't we get to that? You know, I could have coughed during the video and nobody would have heard me.
But no. Did you ever get your foot beat?
No, I think she might be out of the house right now. She went to go get dinner, I think.
I sent her a text message.
Actually, this is Bluetooth. I can get up and go and get one if I need to.
Well, how about you tell us who the person is first?
All right. So, because I'll be able to hear, I will be able to talk. So, our inductee this week easily in my top, not only my top 5, he's in my top 3 professional wrestlers of all time.
Okay.
If Michelle Kozlowski is listening to this, she will have an aneurysm. There he is.
Yay.
Latino
Latino
Heat.
Heat. Yes.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Man, I don't know where to begin with Eddie. Double A is my number 1. Eddie is probably my number 2. As
Eddie
far
was
as
great.
pure
He was
wrestling.
so great.
Then I think I would probably put Owen or Dusty at number 3 if it's
Yeah.
me.
I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that.
So
I love Eddie.
so I think everybody got their first. You're gonna like this picture. This is how you do a promo shot for a tag team.
Damn right.
Los Gringos
Glamour shots,
Locos.
eat your heart out.
That's right. Eddie
Pretty
Guerrero and the Love Machine, Art Barr,
Art Bar.
the man who
boy.
invented the frog splash.
That Eddie perfected.
Yep. Now the Dominic has perfected.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, I couldn't. I almost got.
It's all right.
Uh,
Although he should pass it down to his true son, but you know.
I've only seen one match of the Los Gringos Locos. I think it's the same match everybody's seen. From when Worlds Collide '94, it was them against Octagon and El Hijo del Santo for the AAA Tag Team Championship, hair versus mask.
Oh
Which-
wow.
You know, I talk about the hair versus mask a
Yep.
lot these days. And Ray talked about it in an interview too. He said
He
they might
did.
do it. And I'm just thinking, you know what? They might be listening. You know,
Maybe.
but I
Or maybe
digress.
somebody has a little bit of sense and it's been
Well,
rolling around
that's
in their brain
possible.
for a little bit.
That is very possible.
We're not
But,
the only brilliant ones in wrestling, Mark.
Right.
No, we are a rare
Just around
breed.
here.
But
So that match was 2 out of 3 falls. First fall, of course, Frog Splash gets the win. And Art did it different than Eddie. Art did it like it was an actual frog. He like put the arms under the legs and big
oh wow.
fold up. And
Complete fold up.
yeah, the second fall, I believe, and the falls were you had to pin both guys.
Oh.
So it wasn't a fall until both guys got pinned.
Oh,
like
okay.
Yeah, which is great. I love that idea.
That's a good idea.
You gotta love Lucha Libre. But
Sometimes.
well, yeah. But then I think the second fall I forget what it was, a submission hold I think on Art Bar. One of this was like the Chikara special, it was like a stretch muffler kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the last fall was and also in Lucha Libre the pile driver was outlawed. It was an illegal move. Art Bar hit a tombstone on Octagon, so he got stretchered out. Both teams had a second in the match. Iho and Octagon had the Blue Demon. Or I'm sorry, Blue Panther, different guy.
Okay.
And Eddie and Art Bar had Louis Piccoli in their corner.
Oh.
Madonna's boyfriend, as he was called.
Yeah.
But Blue Panther came in and gave Art a pile driver after the ref bump, and then that kind of evened up because the story of that match was Hijo del Santo and Eddie Guerrero. They were a tag team originally. El Santo and Gory Guerrero were a tag team and rivals. So that's long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
That's going back 40 years.
Yeah.
So it came down to those two guys. Eddie took the loss. So those two guys got their hair shaved. And I think it turned out to be Art Bar's last match because I think he died shortly after that from overdose. Because they were supposed to go, and this is where I'm so good at segues. Oh, there! Look at this picture of him too. That's such a good picture.
I can't imagine Eddie without hair.
I know, right? But yeah, they buzzed him down in the ring.
Okay, but I don't know.
Look at that mullet, if you can see.
I see it.
But yeah, so after the AAA run, then Eddie goes to ECW. There you see him there, TV champion. In his first match, I think he beat Scorpio for the TV title.
I was thinking with Scorpio, yeah.
Yeah, another one of my favorite guys. Also a fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then he went on to have a brilliant series of matches right here with the Shooter. the Iceman, Man of 1,000 Holds, Dean Malenko. This was not their last match. This is one of them. But I think they wound up going. They traded that title like 2 or 3 times between each other.
That was good. That was back when Dean looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't watch Dean on TV anymore when they show him. It's too hard, you know.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on Dean. It's
That's
Parkinson's.
not a
It's
knock
a
on
hell of a
Dean.
disease.
Not at all.
And I don't want
This
anybody to think I'm insensitive. Like, I don't want to see this. It's just,
He
feel bad for
deserves
the guy.
all the credit he can have, but yeah, to see him
Yes.
now, it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. And he's still agenting matches for AEW. He's still working.
Yeah.
Just, you know, behind the scenes. But so yeah, they had their run in ECW, and that translated to
What the hell?
What?
WCW.
WCW.
Doing all right there, Barry?
Are you good?
My phone decided it was going to update in the middle of this.
Oh, lovely.
All right. Well, we will soldier on here, Minderz, and
All right, we will.
so this is where I actually first saw Eddie. This period in WCW, he was the white meat baby face.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really register with me back then. He was, I mean, I love the moves in the ring and everything, but he was just a little too.
He was
too milquetoast
babyface
for me.
I'll
Yeah.
say, he was babyface.
Yeah.
He was too good of
It
a guy.
It wasn't until about here that he really.
There
grew
we
on me.
go.
And to this day, I say this is the greatest match he ever had. This is the match with Rey Mysterio from Halloween Havoc '97.
Yep.
Mask versus
Yep.
title.
Yep.
And good lord, the stuff they were doing. They were doing the high spots and the flippy floppies and all that, but it made sense.
Yeah, I see. That's where with the flippy floppy, I don't mind it when it makes sense.
Right.
It's when it doesn't make sense, and I'm like, come on, guys, don't kill yourselves for something stupid.
Yeah, tell Commander not to try the rope walk 6 times in the match and get countered every time.
Or even El Hijo de Vikingo. I love him. I think
doing the
he's
630.
great. But good lord, you're going to kill yourself for something that's not going to be worth killing yourself for.
He almost Greg Louganis himself on the ring apron in that
I
match
saw
with
that.
Omega.
Yeah.
Old folks like me know that reference from the Olympics in '88.
Well, I caught it, so I guess that makes me
There
old
you go.
too.
Well, you're more experienced in life than I am.
Not by much.
I'll say it that way.
Not by much.
Yeah, I think Vikingo and Commander are wrestling on ROH TV tomorrow or Thursday, so that might be interesting. But yeah, so getting back to Eddie.
Yeah.
I like Eddie better than all those guys. We've seen the T-shirts Minderz on TV the last few weeks, but don't forget who started the Latino World Order.
Yep, he sure did. He sure did.
Kind of handcuffed the cruiserweight division by putting all the luchadors in one group.
It did.
But
That's
the only thing that bothered me about it. If it would have been just like Eddie and Hoovy, and I wouldn't have put Ray in it. I mean, I get the stipulation was Ray was feuding with Eddie, but he lost a match, so he had to join the group.
right.
But yeah, Ray was the foil for the LWO, and then eventually after the finger poke of doom, the NWO started trying to push these guys around, so Flair made them disband. And
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, you have to.
and
have
also
somebody.
Eddie had his car accident too, so he wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, and then you have to have somebody in the group that's going to take the pin for you every time. So.
Well, that's El Dandy.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Good old El Dandy.
Gosh.
My brother loved El Dandy, by the way. If I'm going to try, he listens to this, but he'll forget this by the time his birthday was. I'm going to try to find him an El Dandy t-shirt.
There you go.
I might be able to get Marco to make one.
Or as I say, I'll help you look too. I'll see if I
There
can
we
find
go.
one.
So I might try to find 2, get one for me. 'Cause
There you go.
that's a shirt to wear to a 01 show. Wear an El Dandy shirt. See how many people notice. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after the car wreck, he kind of fizzled. They did the Filthy Animals for a bit, and then eventually he went to WWF with the Radicals,
Yes.
which I thought was awesome when they debuted. It was such a cool debut because they did what we are. They jumped the rail, beat up DX.
Yep. See,
And
that's the way that I think a new faction
yeah, they
should
didn't
be
turn
created.
they
Yeah,
didn't turn the lights off. They didn't have
yeah, there
entrance
was,
music. They were just sitting
yeah.
in the crowd. Perry
I
Saturn
know
in
they
his
got
goofy
pointed
leather hat.
out. Yeah,
They got pointed out. Yeah,
they got pointed out, but that if the invasion, I don't know, because that was
I
what really
have
started the invasion. But
I have thoughts on the invasion, but that's for another episode.
all right, we'll talk about those on another episode.
Because I
Because
have so many what ifs about the invasion that
oh
we don't
yeah,
have time to get into here.
okay.
All
So
right.
move on
All
next.
right. So
The next picture.
WWF, after the Radicals are over, then he gets his run with the IC title.
Yep.
Uh, this is when he was trying to woo China,
You Pappy.
and it wasn't working at first. You know, they had the match at WrestleMania, and
Not at first. It
China,
didn't work at
no,
first, but
but eventually,
she gave in.
there you go. Eddie and China, until China did Playboy, and Eddie got jealous.
You know
And
what?
then I think he was with some hoes in the shower.
Isn't that so kind of Dominic and Rhea right now, though, really?
It really is. It
It
could very
really
easily be.
is.
Except it's more of an even relationship
Yeah.
here than it is
Here
with
it
Dom
was
and
an even
Rhea.
relationship, but that's so Dom and Rhea.
And the funny thing is that when this picture was taken, they were about 2 years old each.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Eddie does the IC title thing for a while. He gets released for substance abuse and all that, gets rehab and all that stuff. Comes back, gets another IC run. Then he starts doing the tag team with Chavo.
Chavo.
Los Guerreros.
Yep.
And this is one of the funner periods of Eddie when he started really playing up the cheat to win, cheat and
Yes.
steal stuff. And is there a
Yes.
more creative cheater in the history of professional wrestling than Eddie
No.
Guerrero Minderz?
No, there's not. I really think he was brilliant. I think he was brilliant. I'm really glad to see. I'm glad that a lot of the indie wrestlers that we see now, and I'll even throw Christian Rose's name out there because I know he's done an Eddie finish before.
Uh-huh.
I just think it's great. Every
Oh
time an
yeah.
Eddie finish happens, I'm always like, yes, because
The
it's
one that
brilliant.
sticks out the one that sticks out to me was the Guerreros and the Bashams. And this is back when the Bashams had Win the Miles with them, doing
Mhm.
the S&M stuff.
Yeah,
She had
yeah,
that whip with her, that cat of nine tails, whatever you call it.
yeah.
Eddie took it, and as the referee was distracted with, I think, with her, he starts whacking away at one of the Bashams with it. Then he turns around, hits Nick Patrick in the ass with it, and then before Nick turns around, he tossed it to whoever the Basham was in the ring with him, and then he
Yep.
like went to the corner. So when the referee turned around, he thought that Doug Basham was hit him in the butt with the whip, and it's
Oh,
just great.
great.
It's just such a shit stirrer. I mean, I call you up for stirring the pot quite a bit. He was a
You
shit
do.
stirrer.
Maybe that's where I
Yes.
get. Well, hello.
Oh,
Somebody
can you
came
hear
to
her?
say hello.
Yeah, my orange cat, the kayfabe kitty, Noodles Redmond, making an appearance,
Noodles.
but she won't let me pick her up. So let's see. So Chavo and Eddie get 2 runs with the tag titles. Also, Eddie with Tajiri for a bit.
I
when
do
Chavo was
remember
hurt.
that.
And then turned heel, won the U.S. title. Turned babyface again. Made John Cena
Yeah.
in that parking lot match that they had.
Yep.
And then the big moment, Minderz. Here you see
There
it.
we go.
That's when he beat Brock. No Way Out
Mhm.
2005 or 2004
Mhm.
for that WWE Championship in San Francisco. He's got the Mexican flag, I think. No, that's the California flag, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Looks like the California flag.
Awesome match. He was fighting from underneath the entire match. Obviously, that's how you got to do it with Brock. Brock's got to manhandle you and really
Right.
get that sympathy going. That's something Cody could learn a thing or two from in this
Yes.
feud with Brock.
And hopefully he will.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a smart guy. I'm sure he will.
He is a smart guy. I really like. There's things about the Brock and Cody match that I am looking forward to, but we shall see what happens. But yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
Eddie was brilliant. He really
Eddie was brilliant. Yep. After his title run, he got another tag team run with Rey Mysterio. This is a cool picture. I like this picture.
That is a cool picture.
I think we need to recreate this picture, Minderz.
I am not standing on top of a
Oh,
car.
I was gonna say I'll let you be Ray. I'll be Eddie.
No. Yeah, let's try to do that right now with my broken foot. Let's see how that goes over. I'm sure it'll go over great.
Well, here we go. We can do it, but instead of a car, it'll be a wheelchair. You'll sit in the wheelchair.
There you go.
But yeah, here you see that's when they were the tag champs, and then they did the wackadoo angle where Dominic was Eddie's son and Ray adopted him, and
Eddie
they
or
had the
Conans? Eddie or Conans?
well, judging from the haircut on Dominic, I'm thinking Eddie.
Yeah, true. That's true. Well,
but
and too, when you see Ray and his wife, and then you see Dominic.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
yep.
And
Stir
the
the pot.
sister is short too, so
Yeah, Eddie wasn't a tall man though.
no,
But
but
Hector was.
He was taller than Ray.
The rest of the Guerreros were pretty tall. Hector and Chavo and
Yeah, well,
Then they did that goofy ladder match for the custody of Dominic. Which to this day I claim that they should have had Dominic hanging above the ring in some sort of a harness. And they have to pull him down instead of a
they
briefcase.
should have put him in a cage.
He would have done it. I'll bet Vince would have done it if they would have suggested it.
If they would have
Put him in a cage. It'll be good shit, pal.
Good shit. Oh, Lord.
And that was the last big angle he had other than a short run with Batista. And then, of course, I'll go with that shirt. That might be my favorite Eddie shirt. Eddie stole my other shirt.
Oh.
But man, he was jacked then. He was healthy.
Yeah, he was.
He was off the sauce. He was off the drugs. And as I understand, he was living the good life. He had his family and everything, and then just all that collateral damage just caught up with him, I guess, and had a heart attack. I was at work when.
Yeah, that was so out of the blue.
Yeah, because he just wrestled the Friday before on SmackDown. Yeah. Did a Eddie finish with Kennedy.
Yeah.
Hit the ring with the chair, threw the chair to Kennedy, took a bump, got a DQ win.
That just.
Yeah.
And then
that gob stopped me, man.
That was. Yeah, but when Eddie passed away, that was kind of the downfall of a lot of guys.
Yeah.
That
one surprised me almost as much as Owen when Owen passed.
Yeah. Well, Owen was such a shock, but
yeah.
When Eddie passed, and then just remembering Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
After he passed, and that Monday when they did everything, and my heart just broke.
Yeah, I don't think Benoit ever recovered from Eddie's passing.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah, I know Benoit's brain was Swiss cheese by the time all his stuff went down. We won't get into that, but
no.
It's just a whole mess that is just a damn shame.
Yeah.
But we can remember Eddie and just how great he was, because he was Shawn Michaels good.
Yeah.
Eddie was on that level with Shawn Michaels. They were supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania 22. Yep.
That was the one. Well, we talked about that when we were talking about. I know it's coming up, but our top 10, when we talked about that with the best matches that never happened.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a top 10. That was just on JTR Mania. It was just one of the.
Oh, that was on JTR Mania. Yeah. Oh, we got Barry back in the
Barry's
chat.
Coming back.
So we're good.
I feel bad. We went through all the Eddie stuff without Barry.
Yep, there you go. The Eddie tribute was the first time I cried for a wrestler. That's crazy. There's been many of wrestlers that.
Yeah.
After Eddie, there's been a lot of wrestlers that I've cried over. And they haven't even passed away. It's just been, it's just been, have gotten hurt or
had to retire.
Man, for me, it was Edge. When Edge had to retire, that broke.
That was a shock.
I was broke.
Because he had just done WrestleMania, and then the night after he came out and retired. And he did it very well, too.
Yeah. And then, of course, Jay Briscoe, but that one was another one. Hey, look, you got your boot beat.
Oh, foot beat.
Foot beat.
Hey, zero sugar foot beat. Hey,
zero sugar
hang
foot beat.
Empty. Empty. Sorry,
Thanks,
inside
wife.
joke, family joke. I'll tell you later. My brother is laughing his ass off because I did what my dad used to do to us when he'd have an empty beverage. He got it from an episode of Wings, believe it or not, when they were caring for an old man, and every time he'd have an empty glass, he'd say, "Empty, empty," and he was very annoying.
Oh.
But there's a little levity after, because I didn't want to talk about Jay Briscoe again.
Yeah, no,
It's
let's just move on. Let's go on to our next segment.
All right, where's
Or are
where's
you not
Barry
done
at?
I don't know if he's actually coming, or I don't know if he's actually coming back, or if we just got
I'll
him
say,
via
'cause
chat.
I was gonna say, because I want to get Barry's thoughts on this stuff, because we got our top 10, and before we do anything, we have to go to the fancy pants graphics. So there you see, top 10 Tuesday, because it is Tuesday, and this is what we do.
This is what we do.
We're kind of wrapping up the topic, Minderz. The last couple episodes, we've been kind of sticking to a theme.
We have.
So we're gonna bring it home today, because our top 10 is worst WCW gimmicks from 1999 to 2001. So this is the gimmicks that finally killed the company.
I would say these may be more that I know a little bit more about than some of the other ones that we've, because this was about the time I was really watching hardcore. So, although part of it I know I did give up because I was like, this is terrible.
Honestly, this is about the time that I really checked out on WCW. But
yeah,
around David Arquette winning the title and Russo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of went back to WWF, because then they were doing Triple H and Undertaker and all those guys, and those just better. And then
I think
ECW,
we may
of
only
course.
have Barry in the chat.
All right, well, Barry, we'll keep an eye on the comments, because we
are interested. And
he's gonna
might have some things to say too.
I think he's gonna have thoughts.
Oh, I'm sure he'll have thoughts.
All right, number 10, the Mamalukes. Big Vito, Johnny the Bull, and Tony Marinara.
Oh my gosh!
And you'll remember Tony, because he's Tony Mamaluke from ECW.
Right.
From the FBI. But for some damn reason, Vince Russo, in his infinite wisdom, decided to call him Tony fucking Marinara. And you can't say racism, because Russo's Italian.
He was just calling it like he saw it. There you go. Just a ripoff of ECW's FBI. That's from AJ.
Yeah.
I told you he probably has some good things to say.
Yeah. I'm surprised Russo didn't try to find a 700-pound man to be their Big Sal.
Probably. He probably did and just wasn't able to succeed.
He probably tried to sign Sal. It's like, no.
No, please. No, please.
Big Sal was the definition of work smarter, not harder in ECW.
Yeah.
It didn't do shit except for the occasional elbow drop or big splash or something. Go through a table every now and then. But never had to take any huge bumps or anything.
Well, I mean, that's
the cat is arguing with the wife in the background.
I can hear. It's very quiet, but I can hear.
But eventually they had to, when Tony Marinara left and went to, oh, there she is. When he left and went to ECW to team up with FBI, then they brought in, I think Disco was their manager. Ow. Beware of the murder mittens.
There you
go. Did you try to make her into a parrot?
AJ, nah, if he had tried, he would have signed Big Sal. You know them checks from Paulie weren't clearing.
Yeah, Paulie had his rubber checkbook that didn't work out so well sometimes.
Yeah, the bounce.
I remember JBL at one stand, he was like, "Pam, my break check." But yeah, so they put Disco with these guys, and then it kind of just fizzled out. Yeah, eventually, Vito went solo, and Johnny the Bull joined the Natural Born Thrillers, which I liked. The Natural Born Thrillers, by the way, that was a good group. It's Palumbo and Stasiak, Jindrak O'Hare. All those. I thought that was the real blue chippers from the power plant.
Yeah.
All right, so number 10 was the Mammoots. Number 9, God bless Alan Funk, but Kwee-wee.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I
Now, do
remember
you
this one
recognize
too.
the girl?
Is that okay, no I don't.
That is Queen Charmel,
I wondered. Okay.
aka Mrs. Booker T.
Mrs. Booker
When
T.
she was Paisley back then. That was her name. I think she was a Nitro
Okay.
girl to start with,
Well,
and then she.
I'm just gonna say it. Most of the WCW guys did marry Nitro girls, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Seems like it
Then
anyway.
Shawn Michaels got one of them.
Yeah, exactly. AJ,
AJ
there you go.
Kwee-wee was actually solid. He actually was solid in the ring. That character though was just
I was we're not complaining
insane.
about their in-ring work. We're complaining about
No.
the
This is
characters.
merely an indictment of their characters.
Yeah, this is just making fun of their character.
Yes. Speaking of Paisley, before she was with Kwee-wee, she was with this guy, the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea.
Wow.
Yeah, remember
Russo,
Prince Iaukea with the?
Come on, Russo.
Come on, shit stain.
Come on, shit stain. No wonder.
And again, I like Prince Iaukea work in the ring.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Prince Iaukea.
The character, though. I mean, the guy's Prince Iaukea for years doing with the colorful tights and the bare feet and the island gimmick and all that. What's the first thing fucking Russo does? Hey, we'll make him the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea.
Yeah.
He's almost went McManish. That'll be good shit, pal. You know, that kind of thing. had a decent run, though. Maybe. But he had a decent run of Cruiserweight champion, I think 1 or 2 times back then. And, but yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, that's a snazzy jacket, though. Let's be honest.
It is a pretty snazzy jacket. The
That
hat
looks like
wasn't
my pimp
bad
costume
either.
from. No. It almost looks like my pimp costume from 2014. I can
You
show
need to
pictures
relive
later.
that. I would like to see that. You need to relive that. I'd like to see that.
Oh, that was and comfortable too.
I bet.
That except for the shoes.
Well, that's usually the problem I have with Halloween costumes too. The shoes always suck.
Yeah. Let's just say leopard print platform shoes are not good for me. Hey, he's back.
Hey, I'm back. Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all. My phone, my phone decided it wanted to update and do all types of craziness, but I'm back.
All right.
That's happened to Minderz on our computer before during the show. So.
It does. It happens
all
to
right.
me.
So, quick review, Barry. Number 10. We're doing the worst WCW gimmicks from 99 to 01. Number 10 was the Mamalukes.
Oh God, yes. Tony Marinero.
Yep. He knows. Number 9 was Kwee-wee.
Oh God. What was his alter ego? Angry Allen.
Yeah. Good old Alan Funk.
Yeah.
And then the number 8 was the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea.
Ah, okay, yeah. Him and Paisley.
With Paisley, yeah. Who was also with Kwee-wee, by the way. If you remember.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so now we're at number 7, and I can think of nobody more suitable to be number 7, Barry, and I will see if you catch on to this.
Oh God.
7. Dustin Rhodes.
God.
That's Dustin. I can tell. I can tell that's Dustin.
I think that was a one-time appearance. I think he basically threw that gimmick in the crapper after one night.
Yeah, he showed up to that Nitro and told everybody, "I want you to get a real good look at this crap they got me doing."
Uh-huh.
But no, like those vignettes with him in the freaking kids' window were freaking creepy. Like they were.
They were creepy as hell, yeah. But I think that was getting a little backlash from Time Warner.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I can see why.
So he went back to the red leather pants and doing the natural and, teaming up with his dad one more time and all that. But
and having Ric Flair kiss his ass and all that, yeah.
Yep. Dusty ate the burritos and then just good.
You were going to kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Big white ass. And it was a big donkey come out. But yeah, I think there's nobody more suitable for number 7 than 7.
Then 7, exactly.
Yeah. All right, number 6, and Minderz. I think we've discussed this fellow before.
Ah.
Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
The former Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright.
Yeah, that's Alex Wright. In his second form.
Right. In his Sprockets era. Like he was about to go and join Dieter on SNL and do an interview. But although if it wasn't for Berlin, we would not have had the wall.
We wouldn't have got the wall and choked on everybody from damn tables. Yeah.
Oh, darn. Thanks, Russo.
Well, and I mean, Berlin didn't last very long because he ended up going back and being Alex Wright, and then he was with the Disco Inferno, and they were the Boogie Nights.
The Boogie Nights, yeah, with Tokyo Magnum was their third partner.
Yeah, and the Disco Duck.
Oh, the disco! I thought I'd forgotten about the Disco Duck. That it just exited my mind. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, AJ chiming in. Alex Wright teaming up with Disco Inferno was way better. I actually kind of liked the Boogie Nights as a team. It made sense.
Yeah, it did.
AJ, yes,
with all the dancing and everything. Yes. All right. So that
I loved Alex Wright. I did.
He was.
I loved
and I did too.
Before Berlin, I was an Alex Wright girl. But...
That whole 94, 95 Alex Wright when he was doing his whole little undefeated streak. I still say top 5 match in my opinion. Arn Anderson versus Alex Wright at Super Brawl. That's one of the best finishes I've ever. Yeah, one of the best finishes I've ever seen in a match.
Oh, played him like a damn fiddle, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah,
Minderz, he went to throw a punch, Wright ducked, and then Arn just hooked him up for a DDT and pinned him.
Yeah,
laughed my ass off. I laughed for a good 5 minutes after he did that to Alex Wright. I love it. Yeah, Arn Anderson, by the way, not on this list.
Well, I bet he's not.
I would hope not.
No. All right, number 5. This is a guy that we missed out on a couple weeks ago. Minderz and Bari at the Expo.
Oh yeah.
Dale Torborg, the Demon.
The Kiss Demon, yes, former strength and conditioning coach of the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. He, I remember when he debuted in they actually got Kiss to play on Nitro.
Did they play or did they lip sync?
Probably
they performed, we'll say.
There you go.
Yeah, they performed. But Tony Schiavone got his wet dream come true, getting to introduce Kiss, do the whole "you wanted the best, you got the best" rap.
Kiss!
Yeah, he just did his Sting intro, but with Kiss.
Exactly.
Oh, AJ.
Yeah, I liked that.
Arn Anderson better not be on this list, or you'll find out why he's known as Armed Anderson. Yeah, that is not a problem. But the Demon, not the best in-ring worker. Big, tall guy. It was just purely gimmick. They just wanted a tall guy that fit in the costume.
Right, but hey, the Demon had a main event match on Super Brawl. Don't forget. Well, excuse me, special event match with the Wall on Super Brawl.
No, the Wall. The fact that the Wall and the Demon were in a main event on a pay-per-view is kind of an indictment of Vince Russo's booking strategies.
Shit stains booking.
Exactly.
It's not lazy booking. That's crazy booking.
That's crazy booking.
Oh,
hey, there's a shirt. We need to take the lazy booking T-shirt and just change it to crazy.
Crazy booking.
Yeah.
But there's things. Here's the things though. You have crazy booking, and it's like there are some good things that can come out of crazy booking. Whether it's that you remember it because it was so dumb.
Well, nothing came good out of WCW 2000, honey. I promise you that.
I don't know. There was a couple. We got Booker T as a world champion.
You get Booker T, right? You get Scott Steiner's title run too, which was great.
You got Scott Steiner with the Tiger.
Yeah.
Remember when he had the Tiger?
Yeah.
That Tiger did not want to be there. He was.
No,
grumpy.
he did not. It did not. And I was trying to figure out who in the hell gave Scott Steiner a tiger. That was a dangerous combination.
Yes.
Mike Tyson. It was Mike Tyson.
Probably.
He's got to use my tiger. And I feel comfortable doing that impression because Mike Tyson does not listen to this show.
Right.
Exactly.
But speaking of Booker T, Mari, we kind of mentioned this guy on the last list. We were talking about the Misfits in Action.
Oh no! Oh no!
GI Bro, yes,
GI
yes,
Bro.
yes. Booker T was great in that role. If only for a few weeks, but he was great.
I think he did that gimmick in Global or something, and before WCW
He did
too.
Yeah. Before he got started at WCW, he was GI Bro in Global.
But they had the Misfits in Action, so it's like, you know what, we need somebody else. And it's like, hey Booker, weren't you an Army guy back in the day? No.
Hey bro, weren't you GI Bro back in the day, bro?
GI Bro. And then he zip lined to the ring. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was doing everything that Craig Pitbull Pittman couldn't.
Exactly. It's a good day for the Marines.
Oh jeez.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
We can laugh about this stuff now.
We can now.
Back in the day, we were just like,
we were groaning.
scratching our
We were
heads over all
groaning.
a lot of cringing. And there's some more cringing to be done here.
I'm
But,
sure.
all right, number 3. This one kind of really, well, not kind of, it really bugged me. Mike Awesome.
Vince Russo, right? Vince Russo killed this man's career.
They took a guy who was a fucking beast in Japan and ECW. No disrespect to Lex Luger, this guy was the total package.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because he could do everything. And they made him a fucking 70s ripoff and Fat Chick Thriller and all this. Mike Awesome is a cautionary tale that not everybody needs a gimmick.
Right. I agree. Not everybody needs a gimmick.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
And he never recovered. He could have, if he would have gone from ECW straight to WWF, then I think he would have been fine. They would have kept him as Mike Awesome.
Yeah, but
Maybe changed his name.
Destroyed him.
Yes.
Right. No, right. They should have left him as Mike Mueller Awesome. And called him today.
Gladiator.
Yeah, and just let him powerbomb everybody through tables, through the stage, through the top of the roof. It doesn't matter. Just let him go.
So didn't he powerbomb Bigelow through an ambulance? Or
no, that was one of the guys from Insane Clown Posse that he powerbombed and he slid off the top of the damn bus.
That's right. That's right. Oh.
Oh, jeez.
No,
and there was no way to stop it. He just slid.
No, he just slid right off, fell a good 8 feet, landed on concrete. And anybody that's listening to this that never watched WCW are probably thinking, they're making this up.
None
of this is feasible. This all happened.
This happened.
On live television.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then they wondered why we had to go to the PG era.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Vince Russo was big on Crash TV, and this was Crash and Burn TV.
He watched too much Jerry Springer.
Yes, way too much Jerry Springer.
He watched way too much Jerry Springer.
Yes. All right, number 2 gets a spot on this list this high up merely for unoriginality.
Oh, boy.
Just
yeah.
Asia. Not China, mind you.
Right.
That's Asia. And,
oh, Lord.
Yeah,
because it's bigger than China.
Yeah.
Right. Also, not to be as a callback, Dale Torborg's wife, I believe at one point, maybe still, I'm not sure.
Sure was. Sure was.
But impressive.
That whole Vampiro wanting to bury her thing.
Uh-huh. And the thing is, and she looks awesome, big muscles and everything. It's just the fact that they tried to make her a carbon copy of China.
Well, isn't that what they did?
But changing just enough to not get sued.
Yeah,
what?
I was gonna say they did that with a lot of the gimmicks then.
Yeah, remember when they had Booker T using all the Rock's catchphrases?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they thought that was cool. Yeah, the bookend. Jeez, that was terrible.
But Vince made a shitload of money off of that when they put him at SummerSlam.
They sure did.
AJ.
Oh, hang on, what did he say?
Never forget Shane Douglas
Never forget
buried
Shane
Asia.
Douglas buried Asia in a promo because
every week, right? He did it for a while. Even when she was a part of the revolution, he'd kick her ass or call her a bitch or something.
And then he wound up staying there with her. Oh, Shane. I love Shane, though. Shane was awesome at the Expo, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
How good was he in that panel, the ECW panel?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
he was the one I looked forward
I'll tell
to.
you, I got to.
Well, between him and Meanie, they were the two I enjoyed listening to the most.
I'll tell you, Stacy and I got to chat up Francine a little bit at their table afterwards. Just she talked to us for a good 10 minutes, just talking shit, you know. And then Shane wound up joining in, and it was a good time.
Yeah, I could see that.
You gotta love those moments.
Oh yeah.
Was it Shane that you popped the Dreamwave?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, what was it you said to Raven? Oh, I don't remember.
I told Raven that he was the face of ECW, and then he said, "Hey, Douglas, did you hear what he said?" and Douglas got offended. And I was like, "Oh, he's the face, but you're the fucking franchise." And he was like, "Fair enough."
Nice save.
To
this day, the franchise is my all-time favorite ECW wrestler. Out of everybody, he was my favorite. Best ECW world champion they ever had. Best heel they ever had. I mean, Raven was a hell of a heel, but Douglas he was on that Aldous level heel. Like
Exactly. He didn't have to do all the crazy shit in order to get over.
Yeah.
No. You could just tell the fans to go fuck themselves and walk around with the hot chick and cheat to win, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, he had the triple threat. I love the triple threat.
Exactly. Yeah, the triple threat.
Talk about no weak links. I'm just talking about the group with Bam Bam and Candido.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you got the original triple threat, Douglas, Benoit, and Malenko.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And they tried to recreate that in WCW with the Revolutionary, with the Revolution, whatever the hell it was called.
The Revolution. But everybody in that group was a member of the triple threat at one point.
Yeah, very true.
Because Douglas and the Eliminators were the triple threat for a bit.
Yep.
We're getting on a tangent about good stuff when we still have the worst offender of them all to deal with.
I want to see what number one is.
This is the only one that, when I saw it originally, made me physically angry. Like, I was pissed off by this.
This is going to be good.
I was not happy. And I think you'll understand why, because I've talked about this before.
Oh, God, this son of a bitch.
Oklahoma.
Excuse my language.
No, you were fine.
That was
fucking Ferrara.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Cheap shot. That was a cheap shot if ever I saw one, man.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah, and the fact they got Doc involved in it too really bothered me.
Exactly. Yeah.
You wonder why WCW went out of business.
And this guy was supposed to be one of the ones who was going to save the company because he came in with Russo.
Exactly. Yeah. Russo's butt buddy.
Mm-hmm. And man, there was nothing entertaining about this guy whatsoever.
Nothing at all. It was disgusting, and
then they made him the cruiserweight champion. Just I think because Russo was his buddy, so he's
on him. Pouring barbecue sauce all over Medusa, and
yeah, it was just nothing fun about it. It wasn't fun at all. Yeah, this low hanging fruit there, and
well, that's what Russo was good at, though. Was low hanging fruit.
Exactly.
He didn't have somebody there to tell him no.
This is true. I'm hoping that is the last time we ever talk about this miserable specimen on this show ever.
As far as I'm concerned, we can. That's it.
So glad. I'm so glad Corny spit in his face when he seen me.
Right?
Man. Ridiculous.
Oh
boy. All right. So I didn't mean to get angry there, but
it's all right. It's
Oklahoma
understandable.
does that to me.
Yeah, that's understandable.
All right. So before we go, we're gonna pay the bills real quick here, Minderz.
All right.
Hey,
Hey, I'm sporting one tonight. Did you see?
Yeah, there you go. Ladies love wrestling too. It's right there on ProWrestlingTees.com/JTR pod. There you see it right there. And you get a good number of your Jumping the Rail T-shirt needs, along with the 0-1 Shootout also. Our buddy the Bearded Dragon has a shirt there. It's a work, Gary says, right there. We got some of the other ones here. Keep Calm and Kayfabe. Still Real to Me. That's an old classic there. That's one of my favorites.
It's still real, damn it.
Yes. Get some of these here. Get the logo. You got all kinds of good stuff there. House Fights Draw Money. I think that might be my favorite one. Because you know how I feel about house fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you see. Pod Street USA. There's our iHeart series. I think we lost Minderz, but I'm sure she'll be back
Oh
shortly.
no.
That's all right. We're wrapping up anyway, Barry, so it's all good. So yeah, get all this stuff here on ProWrestlingTees.com. They'll also go to BrainbusterTees.com/other/JTR-podcast-network. Get some other cool stuff. You get the hoodies, you get the baseball shirts, you get t-shirts, stickers, fanny packs from this show and also the 0-1 Shootout. Got some cool stuff on there. And yeah, so if you feel so inclined, don't forget to go to the podcast and review it, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps us out. And also, I'm going to throw something out here before we go here. Wait, what am I doing? No, hiding this. Professionalism. There we go. So the plan is eventually we want to get back to doing some of the interviews like we did last year. If you remember, we had like Bill Alfonso, Barry Horowitz, Joe Galley from the NWA, all these guys on. Minderz is back. Minderz, you're back for the tail end here. So what I'm basically going on, yeah. So what I'm getting into here is we want to get back into doing some more of the interviews. We had the one with Heather Owens last episode. It was a lot of fun. But some of these guys, they cost a little bit of money to get them on. You know, it's a fee they're working. You know.
Yep.
So so that's where a lot of the money from the t-shirts goes to, if you feel so inclined. And also, if you feel like just donating to the podcast, I mean, you're more than welcome to just go. We have a PayPal at JTR Pod. And if you want to throw some shekels our way to keep the lights on and all that. And also help us book some guests. And if you have somebody that you want us to try to get, just let us know. We'll try to make that happen. And yeah, so that's about all I've got to say about the matter there. Minderz, you got anything you want to add before we say goodbye?
Just don't forget to check us out tomorrow night on the 0-1 Shootout podcast. Because I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of bickering back and forth tomorrow night.
Oh boy! Hey, Minderz, who do we have coming on tomorrow night?
We have the Quad Father Camaro Jackson.
The Quad Father.
The Quad
Yes.
Father.
Yep, the number one contender to the 0-1 USA Heavyweight Championship. So he'll be joining us. That'll be a lot of fun.
And if you ask anybody else, they're saying that there's going to be a new champ. But I've got my own thoughts on it, so I'm sure we'll discuss that tomorrow.
I'm sure we'll discuss tomorrow. Barry, thanks a lot for helping us fill in, man. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem, right? I hate that I had to cut out there for a second, but stuff happens.
Oh, no, you're fine. Hey, technical difficulties are the order of the day on this podcast. So
you have to have at least one. And here lately, it's been me on every one. So you're good.
Yeah, I've been on a hot streak. I've been doing good.
You just jinxed yourself.
I know. Well, it took me about 10 minutes right before we went on to get my camera working. So I'm having the issues, but they're happening before showtime.
Before showtime. That's good.
Before.
At least it's before and not after.
Yes.
Or during.
Or during, yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a good time. We're going on 2 minutes or 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we're
2 minutes.
It's probably about, yeah. If I hit the button wrong, it could be 2 minutes. But,
right.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to say adieu. I got some grub waiting for me, and also medication to try to get this damn cough out of my system.
Right.
So
and
I do apologize for all the hacking and yakking.
More.
Yep.
And I'm
get ready.
In my car now, getting ready to head home. So.
All right. Well, All right, I think that's a good time as any to say goodbye. So for Minders and for Bari, this is Redmond, reminding everybody life is hard, work stiff, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.